BTN.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Where Duraplas goes, water flows.
PS Industries has introduced a new roofing system known as ColorLink Plus.
Flamingo paint, simply superior. Syntax tank, are you strong? Are you tough?
Cherry Tree Properties. We develop spaces as though we were going to occupy them.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Newsfile. This is your most authoritative news analysis show. And this morning we confront three distinct stories bound by a single unyielding thread: accountability in governance. The cleanup dilemma, is that duty or damage control? So first we're looking at the nation underwater. Just 11 days after devastating floods tore through 7 regions, the presidency has declared yesterday and today as National General Cleaning Days, mobilizing the military and citizens to clear the filth. President Mahama tells us that flooding is fundamentally a problem of civic indiscipline. But citizens are asking the hard questions. Is this nationwide mobilization a genuine effort to clean our streets, or it's a calculated public relations exercise to clean a government's image after decades of structural failure? With hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis aggressively collected through the sanitation and pollution levy, why are we still using communal shovels to solve engineering crisis? That's the question. And at the airport, there was an arrest. Was that law enforcement or lawlessness? So next, we will look at the dramatic legal warfare surrounding the National Buffer Stock scandal. The state pulled the former CEO, Hanan Abdul-Wahab Al-Ludiba, right off the tarmac on July 4, alleging a plot to fraudulently empty a frozen account holding millions in suspected stolen public funds. The Deputy Attorney General insists the state is aggressively guarding the public purse, but Aludiba's high-profile defense team is calling foul, labeling the arrest an act of state lawlessness that directly flouted a high court order, allowing him to travel for medical care. In London, is the Attorney General relentlessly protecting state funds, or are state security agencies crossing the line into a blatant abuse of human rights? And finally, Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti, economic solution or scandal in waiting? You heard in Parliament. We dig into the Ministry of Food and Agriculture's heavily funded Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti program, launched 241 days ago to slash over 600 million annual poultry import bill. The state injected a massive 245 million Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money to boost local production. Yet the sector minister himself had just told Parliament a bombshell. He is admitting that market bottlenecks are so severe that some beneficiary farmers are simply killing and eating the birds because they cannot find buyers. What was the plan? Critics are already calling it a complete waste of public funds and a flagship scandal in waiting. So, did we pour millions into a sustainable economic strategy, or have we just funded the most expensive backyard dinner in Ghanaian history? Join us. These are the heavy weights of accountability we are lifting today. We have a stellar panel ready to unpack the facts and demand answers for you, the citizen. We'll be right back.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Do you want a healthy smile?
Have you ever experienced tooth sensitivity, especially when drinking or eating something hot or cold? It could be a sign of enamel erosion or gum recession. Hi, I'm Tanya from Bethel Dental Clinic, Ghana. Gum recession is where the gum pulls away from the tooth, exposing the root or neck of the tooth underneath. To prevent and treat enamel erosion, during your periodic dental visits, your dentist may offer fluoride treatments. Fluoride is a mineral that strengthens the teeth. When there is advanced gum recession, your dentist may need to place a composite filling to cover the exposed second layer part of the tooth. Don't wait till you start experiencing tooth sensitivity. Be diligent with your routine dental visits every 6 months to maintain your best oral health.
Healthy smile.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Malaria's remedy is Lonat. Therefore, we're gonna use Lonat to recover. You have malaria? Yes, please. Are you shivering? Yes, yes. You got chills? Yes, take Lonat. Lonat. First day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Second day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Lonat. Third day, Lonat. Take Lonat. That's all. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat scatter malaria.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. Here's something stake. I'm trying to talk about what is turning out, I don't know to call it xenophobic or expropriation of Jonah Capital Nigeria's investments in the River Park Estate. So I titled my takes, Safeguarding Inter-African Investment, Jonah Capital's River Park Estate. Trust and property rights are important when we speak of economic transformation, regional integration, and pulling millions of our youth out of the betting or the biting clutches of unemployment across the African continent. We must look at the real drivers of capital. It is not rhetoric. It is investment. Massive capital investment, like Jonah Capital's sprawling River Park Estate development in Abuja, Nigeria. They serve as critical lifelines, generating thousands of jobs for site workers, engineers, administrators, and local suppliers. Yet a dark existential threat continues to haunt the African economic landscape. The erratic, extra-legal overreach of state actors. How do we convince investors to sink their hard-earned capital into our economies when the rules of the game can be unilaterally ripped apart overnight by ministerial fiat? That's a big question. There's a dangerous precedent in Abuja right now as we speak. Consider the shocking timeline coming out of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. In May 2007, a development lease agreement was lawfully signed between Jonah Capital Nigeria Limited and the Federal Capital Development Authority. Fast forward to recent months, and we see an alarming disregard for due process spearheaded by the FCT minister, Nyesom Wiki. The chronology of events that I have looked at reveals an orchestrated campaign of administrative subversion and raw, unbridled brute force. Despite repeated written alerts from Jonah Capital regarding unauthorized individuals obtaining building approvals and title documents under fraudulent pretenses, the authorities met these urgent warnings with absolute silence. A ministerial committee, a sham of a ministerial committee, was supposedly set up to investigate the matter, yet without a single formal engagement, interview, or fair hearing with Jonah Capital, the minister took to national media to announce the withdrawal of undeveloped plots. On April 18, 2026, the minister abruptly declared the total termination of the agreement, asserting that all unbuilt lands were now property of the Federal Capital. What followed this administrative stroke of the pen, however, was not the orderly execution of state policy, but a harrowing descent into state-sponsored terror. The minister, through his chief security officer, weaponized elements of the police force to provide operational cover for a horde of armed thugs. I have the videos, I've seen them. These hired elements invaded the estate to terrorize, harass, and intimidate defenseless site workers and terrified clients. We are talking about a lawless 4-day armed siege. We're talking about the brazen 48-hour unlawful detention of innocent site personnel, the illegal impounding of heavy machinery, and the calculated malicious sabotage of critical water infrastructure in the estate developed by Jonah Capital Nigeria. This vicious display of thuggery and the accompanying visceral threats to human life were deliberately orchestrated to break the spirit of the developers and forcefully seize what the law does not grant them. This is not governance. It is barefaced extra-legal expropriation of private property under the shadow of the gun. And I mean that. When an African business expands across borders, it carries the flag of its home nation, here, Ghana. It creates employment, transfers skills, and builds regional wealth. When such an investment is violently targeted and lawlessly dismantled by foreign administrative overreach, It shouldn't just be viewed as a private corporate dispute. It is a crisis of international investment security. We are all familiar with what is becoming our signature rescue mission of citizens in distress abroad. The swift, commendable state interventions mobilized with fierce urgency when our people are stranded or facing xenophobic distress, most notably in South Africa. Cross-border economic investments deserve the exact same zeal of approach. If African governments remain silent while their flagship corporate citizens are subjected to armed siege and illegal land grabs by overzealous foreign officials, we undermine the entire spirit of the African Continental Free Trade Area after. The state must deploy its full diplomatic and legal weight to rescue these investments with the same relentless urgency used to protect human lives. President Mahama, you have been petitioned about this matter. Mr. Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, you have been to this place and seen what is happening. Let us be clear about this. Recourse to due process is not a favor. It is a constitutional and international obligation. A strict adherence to the rule of law ensures that contractual stability is maintained, or at the very least, guarantees that an investor like Jonah Capital gets fair, just, and adequate compensation for its massive commitments. If we do not protect the sanctity of the rule of law and property rights today, we might as well bid farewell to the foreign direct investment our continent so desperately needs. And that is my take. I'll be right back with my guest.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini ehu behia semecha sapapadia to ama me manfo Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients eno ene bom se ho ban e ma ne swen ne sanso mama hotoso e wo bedwam.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oleoma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex Kakalika Plaza. Also, find our various locations as displayed on screen, or call us on the following number: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
Welcome to a place where everyday living is reimagined, where space, movement, and community come together effortlessly. With thoughtfully designed spaces, modern facilities, and everything you need within reach, you don't just live here, you feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Step inside Eden Heights and discover spaces crafted for comfort, style, and everyday living. And just when it feels right, you will know. Because this isn't just about finding a house, it's about stepping into a better way of living. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. Book a private viewing today.
Day by Day exists in lotion, cream, soap, and more. Day by Day has 4 fragrance range.
You're welcome back. This is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform, and here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first. And my guests in the studio ready: Andre Japamesa, his lawyer, former MP, Second D, former Minister for Tourism, and before that, he was in the Energy Ministry. And also here is Bernard Bediako Beidu, BBB. He's also a lawyer and member of Parliament for Akwatia, for the NDC, and Kofi Bento, Rebel. He's here a lawyer and senior vice president, Imani Africa. We have other guests who are joining us: Dr. Juliet Oheming in Tiamwa, who is environmental engineer. We have Dr. Ted Yemo Anang, who is senior research fellow, Institute for Environment and Sanitation Studies, University of Ghana, Legon. Ali Mohammed, who is also chief executive officer of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association. All of them will help us in the discussions we are having this morning. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for your comments coming in respect of the siege that Jonah Capital is suffering in Nigeria presently, with Nyesom Wiki, who is acting like a thug, really, in trying to dismantle an investment on over 100 hectares of land where millions of dollars have been invested just trying to throw a Ghanaian who has sweated and done a lot of work there in the manner that they are doing. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Before the comments were coming in, you were making a comment about my take.
Yeah. I mean, your take is worrying on many, many levels. And the gentleman in question in particular, earlier in the year, I was in Abuja doing some work, and I saw these billboards of a person praising himself. Who is this guy? And I hear is this near some weeks or so guy. Yeah. And then my Nigerian friends proceeded to tell me about this guy. And I'm saying what they said. He is a lawless thug, and he's the level of a minister. He considers himself the president of Abuja, and everybody has their story about him. Now, what he wants to do in Nigeria, that is fine. But look, Sam Jonah is special to us. Now, it's not about he being special per se, but he should start looking at Sam Jonah the way we look at Dangote. All right?
Okay.
And when we talk to our friends, etc., across West Africa, look, West Africa has about 400 million people. We are the economic powerhouse of the whole of Africa. Mm-hmm. Nigeria is like a senior brother, but we in Ghana, I always tell them we are the better sibling. We need to work together. Look at the way we are handling Dangote and giving him every room to operate. We need to create room for the Sam Jonas, the Dangotes, and all those industrialists. They are the people who move us forward and will move the rest of Africa forward. If you leave one man who within his own system is known to be a lawless person, okay, to run riot as if there is no law in Nigeria, it is wrong. And look, it is not you and I who will do anything. But Jonah also has his people. Right. Okay, so if people start attacking Nigerians, then we are going to have a problem here. I hope the Nigerian authorities would take serious, view of this and do something about it. I mean, it's totally.
Hopefully something is done and done quickly.
Welcome. I guess it's important that I add my voice to that as well. Of course, Uncle Sam is a senior Santa Clausian. And listening to your take, I was completely taken aback because I thought this matter had been resolved.
They have decided that they will go to court over this matter, and then in some weeks decide that forget about your court. Look at the videos I was showing. His men are there and they are just pulling things down, and the residents feel they are at risk. They've arrested people, put them under detention.
That's really serious.
It's banditry.
And I share the sentiments that Kofi has expressed. But you see, it's not only Dangote who is Nigerian who has been given opportunity in Ghana to thrive. UBA, Access Bank,
correct,
and all of them are Nigerian owned.
Great.
And they are operating within our space as, thriving businesses that is African owned. We protect them. Yes. So why can't the government of Nigeria extend the same?
In this case, Jonah Capital Nigeria is saying, if you want your land back or something, and we have built on them, including the spaces we have not yet built, if you want them back, we can give it to you. Take it back. You have the right to take your land back, but we definitely have to be compensated. He's not listening, and look at what they are doing over there.
And I don't think he has official.
They called to the foreign minister, and
the foreign minister went there.
Extend it to
foreign minister went there, and the president has been petitioning over this as well. Yes, Samuel Kujato was there.
Yeah, I mean, we should take a serious look. Sorry, we are going on and on. You see, when the South African xenophobia thing happened, one of the points that I made is that the companies from South Africa who are here in Ghana should take a view to some of these things.
Right.
All right? Because you see, you don't want people to lash out. And if they lash out, they will be the recipient. So they should start speaking to... And I don't believe this has official cover in Nigeria. It's that one man called in some weeks. He is such a bandit. And I'm saying so because this is what I was told inside Abuja, and people have all kinds of stories about him. They should bring him to book.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Let's hope that sanity is brought to bear on this matter in Nigeria, and those residents also are put in a place where they will feel safe going forward. So there's been a cleanup, and it's actually ongoing today as well. But I'll tell you what, before you start your commentary, Bernard, this morning as I drove in here, right from my home to Joy, it takes me about 30, 40 minutes to get here. 35, 40 minutes to get here. On the road. Every place. I didn't see anywhere where the cleaning has happened. The garbage has been taken, the silt has been removed, sitting on the edges of the drain and has been removed. They're all sitting there. And there are packs and sacks of rubbish And I'm asking myself, if it rained last night, if it rains this morning, all of this will go back in there. And that has been our problem.
Yes, so good morning to you and my seniors here and our viewers and listeners. I agree with you. I mean, because, I mean, it will be a cost 90 essentially. You know, if the waste that has been cleared from the drains are not cleared from the, I mean, the
You saw the same situation on your way here, right?
I've seen a few. I've seen because of my way from
the piles of them.
There are, and I think that today is the second day, so hopefully, maybe today they would try to take them off the streets. You see,
you know, the president preempted this yesterday when he was he took part in the process.
I heard him. And this is where I think this one, usually it goes beyond the citizens. There should be, this usually is the Zoom Lion and other waste management companies that take up this particular, because you see, where do you even take them to if you decide to?
Good question.
So I think that, and yesterday they were deeply involved. Dr. Sian.
At the place where the president and Sian, Japan were, we were told that there are points, clearly demarcated points where all of these will go. But how long is it going to take to clear them?
Well, so it's the second day. Let's grant them this, that the day yesterday was for cleaning. What I understand actually happened yesterday was that, for instance, at my end, those who belong the security services and then those who were actually government workers. Usually, you know, weekends they will run away and go to. So they were supposed to do their cleaning. And today is actually the day for the very communities for them to do. Hopefully, I'm saying that there should actually be that standby collector.
Exactly.
Who would take them and actually deposit where it's supposed to.
So let your friends also tell me when you were coming if you saw differently from what I saw. Yes, Japa.
Well, let me say good morning to my colleague panelists and our cherished viewers and listeners. I experienced the same driving through Chado, you know, through to Joy FM. The situation is the same. I'm not so sure whether I was surprised, because this is not the first time that we've embarked on such an activity. And consistently over the period when we embark on the same cleanup exercises, we go back to the same situation. And so really, I'm hoping, it was drizzling whilst driving in. I'm hoping that it doesn't intensify. Because if it does, then all the things that were done yesterday, would amount to nothing. I don't know whether we are delving deep into the discussion now. It's just preliminary.
We'll get into that. Kofi, it's been 11 days since the rain, the flood, and the president was at Alajo. Alajo, the big drains, they were full. They were packed, and I drive around that area and I see the piles, the mountains of refuse. I think it's inexcusable that 11 days after, those things will still be sitting there. Cars that were, left in the drain are still sitting there. And the president was talking about, he was looking at one and seeing car engines that have been left in there. And he was talking about it.
Look, when it comes to sanitation, Ghana is on autopilot. Nobody is thinking about a proper solution to our sanitation problems. When it comes to sanitation, Ghana is on autopilot. What will be, will be. You saw the rain and the mess, and like I say, 11 days. Look, okay. And what you're talking about yesterday, look, I am trying to figure out a good way to put all of this. Yesterday, I went to work. I was very worried when I saw people almost brutalizing people who were working. And it's a Friday. It's a Friday. Yes, people in Accra Central were brutalizing other people, traders and other people, and forcing them to go and do cleanup. And I was like, they said that day was for the MDAs and government people, whatever it is. I even saw someone on Facebook, a bank that was shut down or so by the minister or something like that. So that was worrying to me because I went to work. I have work to do and I had to go and do the work. But let me tell you something. Not every information is criticism. And I'm trying to tell this to our friends in NDC and the government. Not every information is criticism. First, I was worried about what I saw. Then I'm telling you what I saw again. They lifted the city. They took the muck from the gutters and put them on the streets and were driving through them. You couldn't drive without your air conditioner. Okay? And I was driving, and I'm saying all that I'm saying because I put it on my Facebook. It is still there. And when I put it on my Facebook, what is the point? Okay? Like my brother here saying, when you are going to clear the thing from the gutter, evacuate it. Otherwise, what's the point?
That's right.
If you're not ready, don't clear it. Leave it in the gutter. Okay? So I put it there. A presidential staffer, my own sister, Nana Oyelita, came and said, "Ebeyo." Okay? And the suggestion is, and people were commenting on it, everything that the government does, we are against it. My brother, me, from when Jerry Rawlings went into the Nima gutter, I have maintained a consistent stand, this is over 20 years ago, that these communal labor cleanups are pointless. So it's not today. I said the same thing then when President Kufuor called for sanitation. I made the same point when Mr. Deborah declared that. I made the same point. I've been making the same point for almost 30 years. So it's not today. Okay? And everything I have said comes to pass. Back to the situation. You drive in Accra, look at Wato. I'm giving you place because of what Nana Oye did. There was a mountain of rubbish. And then there's something I noticed. The Aboboyas come and dump their rubbish on top of it. When you don't plan and you just go out to do photo ops.
So to be frank with you, there are places where I drove through and what I'm seeing doesn't exactly look like it is just what was brought out of the drains and kept there. It looks like people have brought their rubbish from their homes
and dumped on it
and put it there because the state is going to pick them.
I'm making the point. Sanitation is engineering. When you don't plan, you will make a worse mess. I saw it yesterday. When Anoye challenged me, I didn't bother to take pictures or anything of it, but then she challenged me. And that night, I was doing a small trip to drop somebody. I was on a major highway. They had put the rubbish truck bin in the middle of the highway and blocked the highway in the name of, I was like, why do you need to do that? Okay, so as I drove around, I decided that, look, for the sake of, evidence, I'll take pictures. So I took some pictures and I've put them back on my Facebook. You made the point. If it had rained yesterday night, it would actually not be the same. It would be worse.
Okay.
Now it is drizzling. Today, I say not every information is criticism. Dear Mr. Government, today don't clean. Just mobilize for them to go and clear the mess.
Okay, I was about to say, what are the solutions we are proffering? But you just gave one. Let me go to Juliet and Ted. Dr. Juliet Ohiming Tiamwa, thanks for joining us. I don't know where you are. Are you seeing these piles around you? And what do you think?
Okay, Samson, thanks for having me. So I'm currently in the US. I'm not driving through piles of trash, but I've seen,
all right.
But I've seen pictures and videos of them. I think I want to start off by saying that, overall cleanup exercises are good. It's a communal work and, it helps, I think, reignite some community ownership. So I remember back in Ghana when someone is lecturing somewhere and you say, oh, pick it up, the person will say, Ahayodia, or, does the place belong to your father or something? But these exercises help people to remember that we have a responsibility, right? However, I have major concerns with this cleanup, this post-flood cleanup, for two reasons. One, I think all of you have already described what you've seen where, things have taken out of the drains and they're left there and nobody comes for it. So I'm not going to go into that. But my main concern is that, through the commentary, from the presidency and other government officials during and after the flood, it appears that we are elevating indiscipline or indiscriminate waste disposal as a major cause of the flooding. And I beg to differ, with that.
Okay, Doc, hold on. You are getting into the meat. So just hold on for us. We'll get in there because we are asking the question if this is just about sanitation, cleanliness, or an engineering problem. And I think that's where you are going. We'll come to you shortly. Ted, Dr. Yemo, I don't know, you are in Ghana, I guess. Have you seen?
Yes, I'm sitting right here in Accra.
So tell us, are you seeing the mountains of refuse and so on and silt, and what should happen? And we pray that it doesn't rain quickly so that it washes them back into, the drains.
Samson, thank you very much. Good morning to your panelists. Good morning to everyone, especially my junior confidant. I haven't seen his face for a while. But Samson, I will disappoint you. Sorry, I will disappoint you because I taught a course in Lagos, watershed management and conservation. And if you sit in my class for 2 hours, you will not have sympathy on flood victims. Yes. But sometimes these things happen, and I pray to God that you say it's been 11 days now. I was praying that on the 8th day, the 3rd day after the flood, it should rain again.
Oh.
So that then I'm sorry. I'm not being a vampire in this case. But please, just to tell us that whatever measures we to put in place, like we are discussing now, are not enough because we are not going into the root causes of whatever comes around. Let me ask you a question. I'm saying that, sorry, this debris or material removed from the drains, the choke gutters and things, I want to find out from you, where are they destined to?
I think Ejapa or Kofi, all of them ask the same question.
Exactly. So that's why they are there. So that's part of my reason. The reason that, please, let's find the root cause of all these things. Somebody mentioned Aboboya, but you are saying that we shouldn't take the meat off the bone now. We'll come back to that. So please, very simple. Where are they destined to be taken to? All the announcements said logistics have been provided. Somebody is providing trucks to evacuate. Evacuate to where? I rest my case now. Thank you.
All right. So let me go back to Juliet. Doc, so you were beginning to diagnose a situation. And the question is this a simple cleanup as solution, or this is an engineering solution we need that we have misdiagnosed?
Okay, something I think we all agree that, this cleanup is not a solution at all, right? That is why I started off by saying that, communal work is good, for community building and ownership. But when it comes to waste management or, improving sanitation in the city, this does not solve it.
You are going to 2 points.
When it comes to flooding, this does not solve it. Okay. Right. So, and let me get into the flooding bits, and I think the waste management part, we can discuss that later. When we list, let's say, contributing factors to flooding in Accra, let's say I'm going to just list about 5 of them, right? And it goes back to my initial point that I'm concerned that we are elevating indiscipline or indiscriminate solid waste disposal as though it's a major cause to the flooding that we are seeing. But in my view, I don't think it is. And this is why. So let's say we have 5 major contributing factors to the flooding we see. One being lack of sufficient, well-engineered drainage system. And I'll say that, considering the rain intensity that we are seeing, recently in Ghana, and you look at the drainage capacities that we have, it's not sufficient. Our bigger drains, or what we call primary drains, are, I think, designed for what we call 25-year flood period. That is, in layman's term, we will say flood or rain that has, flood that has 25% chance of happening, right? But when you look at the intensity of the rain we are having, we need to rethink our drainage system and be considering 100-year flood, which is designing for systems that have the capacity to handle flood that has 1% chance of happening. And many cities are adopting this engineering principle. The second point is increased runoff. So in stormwater management, the first thing you really want to do is to reduce runoff. Runoff is, all the rain that is flowing through the cities, right? That is has speed and volume. You want to reduce that runoff. Currently, we have a lot of developments that are all tiled, concrete, and really increase this runoff. So it's intensifying the floods. And then we have lack of enforcement in protecting our wetlands, right? So which people term as building in waterways, but I prefer to call it lack of enforcement in protecting our wetlands, right? And then lack of detention ponds. Then we come to choked drainage. So out of this 5, let's say each of them is even contributing 20% each. When we come to choked drainage, Samson, if you pay careful attention to the drains that we have and what is choking it, you realize that it is silt primarily. Before even waste. I mean, without silt occupying the gutters, the plastic bottles and all will float, right? But it's the silt that is trapping all this waste in the gutters. Where does silt come from? Silt is as a result of how our city is unplanned or planned. We have a lot of untarred roads, untarred feeder roads, and we have a lot of, areas that are unpaved and also areas that do not have any landscaping at all. And so we have a lot of silt getting into our drains. Even the covered drains, they are barely removed to check. But, recently Bus Stop Boys showed a video. When you take the cover and you look at it, you see that it is full of silt. So, and so when you look at what is choking our drainage, and the primary thing there is silt, and then the second is, let's say, waste, right? Why are we so much focused on blaming the citizens about our choked gutters being with waste when the main thing is silt? And we need to address silt as a chemical. I mean, when you look at the Odo, when they dredge it, the main thing they are taking out is silt.
That's right.
But we barely talk about silt and addressing silt in our communities. I mean, the banks of Odo is so full of silt that in actual sense, we should have greened all those areas so that silt does not wash into the drainage. So coming back to why we are doing this, if we are doing cleanup exercise to prevent floods, I think the impact, in my opinion, is really small, and focusing so much on it takes our attention from the real underlying problems to the causes of floods and what we need to do to resolve them. So that is my main concern.
Right.
That is one of my major concerns with the cleanup. And the second is being the waste management, which I think we can come back later unless you want me to continue. That is also fine with.
Yes, Dr. Emwanan. So I have been confronted with this question by some engineers that, yes, it's not only sanitation or waste that we are focusing on, because we are beginning to demolish structures that are sitting on Ramsar sites, that are sitting on places that should have been containers of the water when it comes. But the question I've been asked is, when we do the demolition of those structures, and we have set a military man to help us go around to demolish some of these structures, whether that will happen or not is another matter. But the question is, when we demolish the structure, the concrete foundations are all there. We don't take them away. So what problem are we really solving by pulling the top of the building down?
Thank you, Samson. I've just noted, I wrote a point here long ago that demolition waste is not just leaving the footing there, but the waste itself, the demolished material, or where is it taken to?
Right.
We have not paid attention to the management of demolition waste. And that is the main culprit that is used, the main material used to fill these waterways. If you go to my hometown, La, look at the famous La Beach across the shore. It's been filled over the years with demolition waste because we found those places cheap receptacles for such material. That is one thing that we are not thinking about. If you go to, again, the Chado area, Chado area, I tell somebody that I took a student there to conduct research on water and some environmental issues. The site, as we speak now, where we conducted research, houses a pub, a chop bar now. But is it coming back to my sister's submission? I want to move away from the engineering issues and talk about nature. We are facing these issues because we are moving away from nature. Madam, a watershed, or what you call a basin, is made up of, it's just the whole area that is drained by a water body. It could be a river, but that river has tributaries, it has creeks, it has streams connected to it before emptying into wetlands, then finally into the ocean. Where are all these drainage basins? Where are they? So it's not just about building in the waterway, but then encroaching on, I'm sure we know about what floodplains too are. That when the water, especially when we have no control, absolutely no control over the volume of water pouring through by precipitation. So if it's silting, the silting tool that you will talk about in the door, it's also made up of decomposed organic material that could have been diverted from our waste stream. You said we'll talk about waste. We'll come to that later. So Samson, coming back to your question, the demolition should be extensive. What I'm asking for is it should cover, it should be basin wide or watershed wide, because it started from a point and it started one by one. I can see your slide. Flooding is a natural disaster, but if you don't manage it well, then it becomes a problem. So coming back to your question, my answer is if we are going to do it, we should go to the roots, not just single structures standing in waterways.
And by going to the roots, what do you mean?
It should be a basin wide. It should be, I've just told you that the basin or the watershed has creeks, tributaries, and whatever. All these are made or provided by nature to take care of the flood, the water that is flowing. So if you block one side, the water will find its way sooner or later. And I want to caution us that, please, we should be careful. Climate change is real. Thank you for now.
All right. So I'll come back to the studio and return to you shortly. On the sanitation part, we set up a sanitation levy. Since 2021, we have managed to mobilize some over 2 billion Ghana cedis into that fund. Out of that, as at 2024, we have spent 1.5 billion on sanitation issues. We spent on landfill sites, we spent 1.2 billion. Air quality, we spent 100 million. Fumigation, we spent 95.9 million Ghana cedis. And waste infrastructure, we spent 74.7 million Ghana cedis. And yet, we are here. Kofi?
Money is not our problem when it comes to sanitation. I was telling another panel, I used to work in enterprise insurance around 2000. And I always would use the Kole, the high street, to go to work. Around that time, they were spending $35 million to dredge the Kole. I did geography, and I told my friends that won't work because of the dynamic of the sea and the river. Okay. Now, since that time till now, we spent about 300 million. If you take the Garrett project, Ghana Environmental Resource Management, or up dollars. Money is not our problem. Our problem is lazy leaders who refuse to do the heavy thinking because sanitation is an engineering challenge. Look, yesterday, okay, yesterday, most of our leaders went to just take pictures. I'm making the point that we don't want to solve the problem. Our leaders don't want to do the heavy lifting, the hard work of thinking through and solving it. They just want to do something to represent something and then go out and take pictures to show the people that, oh, we are working at it.
Well, I thought this was genuine and to inspire others to, get into the gutters and work.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I, sitting here, say, when Jerry Rollins, the man who everybody was fearing, he could make us sleep at 6 in the evening, he jumped into gutters in Nima and was cleaning it. I went out and criticized it and said, the president's job is not to go and clean gutters. At that time, I said, what the president should do is to go and stand by the gutter and say, why is this thing dirty? And ask, who is in charge of it? Call that person and ask, who is your boss? Call the boss and fire both of them on the spot. And then move on to the next place and sack people. If you make it coterminous with their job, because it cannot be impossible to clean a city the size of Accra.
In one regime, I heard a story. They attempted to do something. They attempted to bring Ghanaian corporate leaders abroad who are used to the discipline of waste management and so on to become leaders of our MMDAs to drive this kind of sanitation.
Why is that necessary? Sanitation is engineering, and you know what? We are not the first people to start it. I put an article on my Facebook yesterday about New York. Okay, there was a time in New York when people's horses died, they left it on the streets. Okay, can you imagine? It was stinking. In London, the Thames River was stinking. Okay, I can go on and on and on and on. This is not we reinventing the wheel. Okay, even when you look at it, I can see where the problem is. Where do you dump? And I remember I was having a discussion with some people many years ago, and I said, look, it is clear to us that Accra, we used to be dumping waste 25 years ago around the Wager area, where there was a quarry and we filled it and it filled up. Now we are dumping it in the wetlands. Accra is filled up. You can't have a landfill in Accra. You know where we built the last landfill in Accra? On the Kole Lagoon. They built a mountain in the middle of the city. Okay, there. That's irresponsible, and that's the government. It's clear that there's no space in Accra. When you look towards the east, around Tema area, there is no space there. When you look towards the west, there is no space there. When you look towards the north, the mountains, the Buri area, there may be spaces there. Nobody, they call it not in my backyard syndrome. Nobody wants that. But this is where government comes in and uses what they call eminent domain. Somewhere around that area, you can find a place which is totally off, any habitation. Find a deep valley, create a railway from here there, okay, and then transport this thing and build a landfill. A landfill is an engineered facility, a properly engineered facility. We sit down and hope that things will solve themselves. Things don't solve themselves. Okay, so when you talk about bringing people from wherever, presidents jumping in the gutter, and then instituting a monthly cleanup, it will never solve the problem. I made a point yesterday. Every city in the world that is clean is not clean by communal labor or by citizens. And every city in the world where communal labor is required is never clean. Okay, so why have we done the same thing for 30 years, ended up in the situation where we are in, and still pretend that jumping around into doing communal labor?
Enforcing the law has become difficult, so that's
why do we have leaders? Again, I said, look, somebody many years ago, through thinking, took a hat out of somebody's chest, opened another person's chest, put the hat there, sewed it, put it together, and the person walked. And we can't dig gutters or get rid of rubbish. It cannot be impossible in a country where there's so much unemployment to find people, supervise them to clean rubbish and create an engineered landfill, put a railway to it and do it. People think it's difficult, okay? But the fact is, the option, not doing it, is catastrophic. And like I said, we've spent not less than $300 million in the last 20, 30 years. It is not the money we don't have. We can't have the solutions here, but even here, in the short time, at least I think I've made a bit of sense. Put the right people together, lock the room, let them come up with a solution and deal with it. Meanwhile, no one government can solve this problem. Everybody comes and they try to do something. And look, even in the times of Jerry Rawlings, it was sincere. Rawlings would go there and dig. Yesterday, I won't mention names. People who are not even in cleaning attire. They go, they shovel a few, pieces of whatever. When they leave, everybody will leave. And everybody was taking pictures. And many of the pictures you saw, you see one person digging and everybody standing there and looking at them. Yeah. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? All right. And like I said yesterday, this is my experience yesterday. They lifted the city yesterday. This morning, the letter is out there. Today, please go and just evacuate it. But this solution won't come from communal labor. I've said it in Jerry Rawlings' time, I've said it in MPP time, I've said it in NDC time.
On a lighter note, when you began speaking and I started smiling, I suppose you didn't know why I was smiling. You said you were working in a company. And I asked myself, Kofi Bento, driving to a company, sitting there, work as an employee. How does that work? Kofi can't do that.
Well, I did that for many years. I did a good job. I resigned. Yeah. I know.
But maybe, thankfully, we should be thanking Bernard and his friends in Parliament. Additionally, they have now passed the Community Service Bill, where minor offenses people commit, they won't go to jail, but they'll be put to work.
Yes.
Many people are telling me maybe this is one of the things we put them to. They go and distill, they go and clean.
That point should be made. Congrats to you and everybody who worked on it.
To all of you, yes. I remember from Emil Short, Anna Bosman, Osei Prempe at the time, and
we all said
the culmination is now.
Yeah. So now we have it. So congrats to our leaders in Parliament. This is what we have to do. But unfortunately, that is not the solution to the sanitation problem we are having. It's part of. Okay. But for me, I think that's a big deal. Look, you go to Isawam, you see people who should not be there.
They're just wasting away.
They are just wasting away. They should not be there. And there are so many stories of people who have turned around, so it's a very, very important thing, all right? So kudos to you, kudos to Parliament and everybody, but do the other things. We need, if you look at sanitation levy, the money we've collected, if you look at, all the little things we have done around sanitation, it is time we have a concerted, properly thought through solution, multi-year, phased, engineering-based, knowledge-backed approach to solving problems instead of the politicians do, which all they want to do is to show or suggest to people that they are doing something, but they don't do anything. And sometimes it actually leads to the opposite.
All right.
Okay. We need to do things differently.
So let me get to Bernard now. And on the note of the Community Service Bill, originally it was Community Sentencing Bill. I want to say congratulations to all of you who have been part of the process. CDD Ghana, great job. Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, who got a revival of the debates about this bill by 2022, 2024-ish, 2023-ish. 2 bills had already been made, but they never saw the light of day. And thankfully, the debate was revived. And thanks to Godfrey Dame, too, at the time, they took it together with Alfred Tuayeboa and revised it again. And thanks for the opportunity for making me to contribute to it as well. And through my subcommittee at the Greater Accra Bar, the Prisons Project Committee, making our inputs, and then eventually this government coming in and making sure that the bill has been passed. Thank you very much. Poverty offenses should not be the reason why people should go to jail. The street hawker, sometimes they are not doing it because they have an option. They just don't have an option. The guy who is stealing plantain, you go and check. We have sat here and contributed money to pay for some of their fines so that they don't go to jail. We have given barbering kit for some of them to set up barbering saloons. When they were caught stealing a bunch of plantain and they were fined, they couldn't pay, however small the fine, and they were still put in jail. Sometimes those crimes, vagrancy, sleeping rough outside, it's not because they want it, it's because our system has just, forgotten about these people, and they shouldn't be thrown into jail when they offend that way. Put them to work, give them something to do. At least they will be happy that you are feeding them and they are working, rather than put them into prison, feeding them, and they have nothing to do. So thank everyone, and to Speaker Bagbing and this Parliament, the Attorney General, Dominic Ayine, the leaders in Parliament, and the President for allowing this to become a reality. Let's have the Secretariat set up quickly, and let's get to work. Yes, Bernard.
Yes, so Samson, you said it all. So nothing more useful to add. You and the senior, with regards to the community service bill, hopefully we will get to change the narrative where people are convicted on some of these very, I don't want to use it, and then they end up even drawing so much from the public purse and doing virtually nothing. The
English from whom we copied the law and the jurisdiction, they call those offenses misdemeanor for good reason.
For good
they are
reason.
misdemeanors.
That's true. And then it would also help decongest our prisons as well.
Right.
Because you have serious people, people who have committed very serious offenses rather being in there, not. So I don't think that is, but that is good. And they would also contribute to this. And you see, that is where I was going, but my senior Kofi Bentel eventually conceded that it is part of the problem. He started by...
Part of the solution.
The solution, sorry. He started by virtually rubbishing the entire, this whole, get to work and try to, do some cleaning. He thought that it wasn't really going to help in any way. But you guided him and he considered that. We have said that, yes, it may not be the entire solution, but it's part. Even the awareness. Look, he made a certain narrative, and I would want, look, what the kind of indiscipline, all of us, the kind of indiscipline we have here, the difference between here and there, when I say that the Western and all that, is the indiscipline.
No, it's the enforcement.
It is. No, indiscipline first before you talk of enforcement. Because if there is no indiscipline, you don't talk about enforcement. But the indiscipline is
so
such...
the other way around.
Where there is
leadership that determines the conduct of the people.
No, but I agree. But there are things you will not even attempt doing out there.
Because you'll be punished if you do it.
Yes. So you will not even be in discipline in the first place because their laws are working. I agree with you.
We have a law.
Yes.
If you throw waste.
That I agree. I'll come to it. In fact, that is. But you see, we cannot also say the reason we have what we have is a discipline and enforcement. Because if we are in discipline, we need to enforce the law, which I agree. But there are things you will not even conceive. Our dear sister out there, he should tell us. You will not even conceive ever doing out there. But you see, and in this particular instance, both President Akufo had conceded. He went to meet the Ghanaian community in Canada and said that he would not even continue using our money to cure our indiscipline. He admitted that the problem was indiscipline. President Mahama is saying so, and I agree with him. But you see, it cannot just be said that we are where we are because of indiscipline, because we have our laws. There are law enforcement officers and agencies. The assemblies, we have so much laws, so much. In fact, we don't need federal laws. It's all about enforcement. And that is where I come to, that we need to enforce it. But you see, even before you enforce it, there is an existing problem. How do you cure the problem? Our gutters are choked. If you decide to now enforce the law, what happens to the existing problem? And part of it is to call the citizenry, come out and do this cleaning. And the awareness is such that at least we've come to know. I saw a video where a woman was saying something to the effect that henceforth, if he sees anybody dumping anything here again, in fact, something like that. It is a way.
I saw a woman too that Jerry Ahmed was asking questions. She said she's done the cleaning and they didn't give her food, nothing. And Jerry was saying, but what? It's your own. They want to be giving giving something by the politician.
He thinks that it is.
That's the height of the discipline.
He thinks it's there.
People have encouraged it.
How? They are. How is the elections going? You didn't even ask him. But anyways, you see, so Samson, for me, it is part of the solution. Where I agree with you is the fact where you started asking where the debris, the waste should be taken. That I agree entirely. We have to really be very certain about this, because otherwise it would run back to the same gutters. And then my sister also said something that it is more of silt. I disagree. You were coming from the house. Did you just see silt being drawn from the drains? It wasn't just silt. You see, we have been in discipline. Let's acknowledge this.
For the major drains.
For the silt, it's not just silt. It's not just silt. You see, some silt, yes, it's a problem. I do not want a situation where we just take a part of the problem and assume that is the entirety of the problem. It is part.
So from what you know, where is all of this going? Where is it going?
That I agree. I mean, that I wouldn't sit here and be able to tell. But over the period, even until recently, where was it taken to? Because in Koforidua, for instance, I know we have on your way from the DVLA roundabout to Aquadum, there is, and then a very big one. I am not too sure. You see, this. Did
I tell you where they are taking the Accra one?
Tell me.
The Corley. You see the Corley lane?
Yes.
The Mochi Road.
Yes.
They are heaping it over there, and it's causing massive problems. And then you go to the Wager Ramsar site. In the wetlands, which is a protected space, okay, they are poisoning it with waste. All right?
Then I agree with you.
And that's criminal.
Yes, we must. But it is for me, it is important.
Did you say criminal? The state is committing crime.
Yes, the state is committing a crime.
we commit crime against the state.
It's an ecocide. Ask the people.
Yes, but go on.
So for me, it's part of the problem. Part of the solution to the problem, and we must encourage this. I rather would say that it shouldn't be a 9-day wonder. We should at least the awareness that we need to clean, and before we even clean, we should have the solution in terms of evacuating the waste. Otherwise it will be business as usual. Because you see, Senior, I met with you elsewhere, and then I pointed out to you that you said that the problem is in discipline.
The context was.
You see, you said this.
No, it's not about the
different. Say that. You see, where the point I make is this.
If you like, I'll clarify it.
Don't worry. But I'm saying that let us admit that it's in discipline, and then charge the state to enforce the law. Because you see, if we don't enforce the law, we will come back to. We will run out, go and come back to the same problem. It's in discipline.
Which one comes first? In discipline or enforcement? And I'm telling you.
But if one does not indiscipline himself or commit, where will enforcement come?
All human beings are prone.
At the moment.
It is discipline that forces people to fall in line.
Yes.
Everywhere else, people are more indisciplined than us. But they know there will be consequence. Go and spit in Singapore.
I agree with you. I agree with you that we have to charge the state to enforce the law. I agree with you.
That's where you start.
Yes, but we cannot also. You see what Samson said, that a woman who cleaned his own backyard is asking for the state to give. We must also call ourselves out that we've not helped the system. All of us. It's not about party A or party B. This problem has been a problem with us. We have been in discipline. Let us call ourselves out. When we are done, we charge the state to now come after us. Because you see, the problem is also culture. When I read about what you said, you even, made mention of chiefs selling wetlands to people. You said it.
But I said other things.
But you said other things. But
when
you see,
the chief sells the wetland, the government must stop that.
I agree with you. So, but it is not as easy as we see it.
What is difficult about that?
Because our land tenure system, our land, you see,
who has to fix it? Parliament has to fix it. Executive has to fix it.
Help us.
Help you.
You can.
We voted for you to go to Parliament.
No, it's not about politics.
We have given you all the power to do what you
when
have
I
to
say
do.
help, as we are politicians. No, when I say that, so
politicians have to lead.
We all know the problem. Tell us what can be done.
I've told you something today.
You said we should do it. Because we all know the problems. But the challenge is with ensuring that we get solutions to it. Look, for all he said, about 85 or 90% is about the problem. That we all know. To be frank, Samson, you heard him. It was the latter part you heard him say.
His problem is that we have done the same thing over and again.
So what do we do now?
And we know what that means. That's beyond
enforcement of the law, and that is for me the key.
I gave you a number of solutions.
Yes.
Should I repeat? I said, one, we should create a massive, major engineered landfill. It can't be towards Tema, it cannot be towards Winneba. It should be towards the Buri Mountains. Somebody should go there, find a valley there, create a railway. Let me finish. Just today, that's what I've said. Build a railway from somewhere and then evacuate from here to that place. Remove the ones you have put by the Koli. Remove the ones you have put in the wetlands. That is ecocide.
I've heard you.
Okay.
So let me interrogate what you just said. You see, so we should continue. Well, yes, we have to find a place like that, as you are saying. But should we continue to be in discipline so that the state would garner all these resources and keep doing the thing?
Let me answer you. Whether you are disciplined or indisciplined, you will generate waste. That is one.
Yes.
Number two, the citizen's role in waste management is very limited. It is limited to proper disposal, period.
But the problem we have is not the proper disposal issue.
Let me finish.
The improper one.
Okay. Yes, you come in and then we'll be speaking to the president of Ghana Institute of Planning, who have issued a statement and have suggestions as to how to resolve this issue.
So I'm saying that at least, for starters, let us commend the government on this. We have to.
He's saying that we have always come to the status. That we start and we don't go
but I sit here and I agree with him that we have to enforce the law. I've said it, we have met with him a couple of times on this. We need to, and I'm saying that, look, if we are even enforcing, we don't need a presidential committee.
Right.
Because the problem is a local problem. So if we charge the assemblies that enforce the law, you call them out that if I see all these, what do you call it, unauthorized structures, whatever, because it's within a certain municipality, you lose your job.
That's right.
You see, when we do this, the people would act. I agree with him. But we must also not shield ourselves. And as though we are not part of the problem. We are. But we are charging the state to also come after us. But you know, it is not like I told you.
When you say we, who are you referring to? We are part of the problem.
All of us as citizens.
I hate it. I'm not. It's like when we talk about corruption, we say we are all. I'm not. Okay?
Somebody has the job to
Those
do
who
that.
are doing the wrong should be held responsible.
Sanitation levy.
Correct.
But when we say we, well, you may not, but others are. And at this point, we may not even know who is and who is not. We may know. You are saying you are not. I trust you.
Right.
Someone will say he would not trust you. Maybe you are.
I've been out for a minute, so let me take this opportunity to extend my commiserations to the families who lost loved ones during this unfortunate
34 over the period,
avoidable situation, and to businesses that have lost millions because of this flooding. But I feel very sad.
And I said last week that when it happened in the central region and 18 people lost their lives, it didn't become a big subject in this country.
I listened.
It happened in Accra and 12 people were lost. And then suddenly it becomes the biggest issue. There is a state declaring all sorts of things that have to be done. Ghana is Accra.
Even in the north, I think
it's a hypocrisy. That is our bane. When did you realize that this problem was a problem of indiscipline?
When President Akufo-Addo said it in Canada. Yes, that's when I realized it. When he said
when was this?
Oh, Sam, please get it for him.
You see,
he met the Ghanaian community.
It's okay. You see,
thank you. I'll get
in
it for
2024, precisely on the 27th of May 2024, when flooding had occasioned Accra, this is what the president, then candidate, had to say. And I'm quoting him. It's on his Facebook page. The recent heavy downpours in Accra and other parts of the country have led to extensive destruction of property and, according to reports, the loss of life of a young schoolboy. This has exposed the government's failure to manage and prevent floods effectively, and evokes deep concern about its lack of comprehensive flood prevention and management plan. Many areas that in the past were unaffected by flooding today become inundated with the least rainfall. This was President Mahama, then candidate Mahama. At the time,
if you want us to go,
he attributed the problem of the flooding to the government. So why is he attributing it to in discipline today. Why? Look, Samson, this incident of 29th June, right? It's a clear case of blatant incompetence. And why do I say so? Mr. Mahama knew this. Went ahead to launch a manifesto in August of 2024 after he had made these comments. Made commitments in that manifesto about the kinds of interventions that he will put in place when voted into power to deal with the flooding situation. Fast forward when he became president on March 12, 2025, he launched an anti-flood task force to ensure that flooding did not occur going forward during his tenure. The expectation of Ghanaians were that that mechanism that he had put in place was going to do the preparatory work whilst he works to do the engineering designs that he had proposed in his manifesto. Fast forward 2026. We knew that the rains were coming. The anti-flood committee did not do any national cleaning exercise. No proactivity whatsoever. No monies were released to the assemblies to desilt these drains. If we were serious, why didn't we organize this national cleanup exercise in April or May before the rains came? We sit, look on for people to die, for businesses to suffer losses, and you embark on a charade, parading ministers of state, vice president, president, going to stand and do what? We have failed. And if we will not admit our failure and proffer solutions in dealing with this matter, look, next year we'll come and sit around here and talk about the same things. And that's not what the good people of this country are looking for. Mr. Mahama and his government have failed. And it's about time you guys admit, where are the water retention ponds that you promised? You said at page 67 of your manifesto that you construct water retention and detention reservoirs in flood-prone communities to reduce the perennial flooding and for irrigation and other purposes. Where are they? 18 months, 2 budgets after you came into office. Where are they? And rather than owning up and admitting to the lapses that your government has occasioned the people of Ghana, which has led to this cataclysmic loss, you sit here and say that we should blame the people. How do we blame the people? Are the people the ones who are supposed to do the engineering? Are the people the ones who are supposed to manage the waste collection and disposal from their communities? Let's not do this.
In 2015, June 3, when the floods took away 154 lives, that's the official number. I know the number is more than that. And injured an equal number of 154, according to the official report. President Mahama stood at Circle, and the graphic reported that, blaming the disaster on human activities, President Mahama said, people building in waterways and littering the drains have made it difficult for the flood water to flow because, quote, we have created human intervention between the source of the rivers and the sea, where they are headed. A lot of people have lost their lives. I am at a loss for words to express how I feel. Many of them through the flood, and then many of them through the fire incident that took place here as a result of the explosion that took place in the filling station located right here. So our leaders know the problem.
We know the problems.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to do it.
That's why people vote for you. And when you make commitments, you ought to live by those commitments.
This is how he concluded that.
You don't turn around and come and blame the people.
This is how he concluded that statement. That he said, quote, "We have to take some measures to be able to avoid this in future. And often, these moves, when these moves are started, you have a lot of sympathy and pressure not to take those measures. But I think that the time has come for us to move out of the waterways, and the public should understand that. I mean, this loss of lives is catastrophic." When the flood happened, after he did his tour on the helicopter, among the comments he made was a repeat of this, that if you begin to crack the whip and you begin to demolish, people will complain and say you have sympathy. This is what he said in 2015. He's saying the same thing. So when Kofi Bento says, we are not getting results because we are doing the same thing, how can you begrudge him?
But that's where the hypocrisy comes in. Right? That's where the hypocrisy comes in. Politicians are afraid of votes. And so, believe me, we've told, right, that if I identified in excess of 10,000 structures that are sitting in waterways. Only 2 days ago or so, I think I heard the Minister for Local Government or something mentioning that about 1,000 or so have been earmarked for demolition. Right? So what happens to the 9,000 or so that will be remaining? And what criteria are they going to use to demolish 1,000 as opposed to the 10,000? But we are here. And we will see that the real actions that ought to be taken will not be taken. We'll go around in circles, organize this charade, come, and like Kofi said yesterday, people were wearing linen shirts, sweet boots, going to do cleanup exercises. Who are you deceiving? Samson, who are we deceiving? The issues are clear. Everybody admits that there's some engineering problem that has to be dealt with. Deal with it. These landfills that or waterways that people have built in, if you have to demolish them, take action, and let the people see that indeed the government that they voted for is doing the work that they expect them to do to alleviate the problems that
your regime took over shortly after the 2015 disaster, and you were blessed with the Garrett funds to do this work for 8 years. The storm drains work you did.
Don't continue.
Should we have been here? That question has
the Garrett funds were not for 8 years. The original loan itself was approved in 2019. COVID happened in 2020. There were some adjustments to the program. Subsequently, some additional funding was approved, I believe, in 2021 or 2022. Now, I hear, and you see, Garrett had 5 components. 2 or 3 of them, or 2 components were prior actions. The 3rd component was the actual construction. Were the prior actions not completed? In fact, was the 3rd component not commenced before the Akufo-Addo administration left office?
Yeah, of course. The work
Who delayed?
The consultants, the research,
Absolutely.
all of that was completed.
And I hear people say that, you've been granted loans and you are using the money for training and engineering works. How can you construct when you haven't done engineering? Indeed, and in fact, Parliament, when approving the loan, knew the components. They approved the components. That included the training and engineering, and necessarily you need to do the engineering before you do actual construction. And in fact, actual construction started under the Akufo-Addo regime. We are told, per the World Bank's own update on the program, that when our friends in the NDC came into office, right, what did they do? They delayed the implementation of the program because of the so-called fiscal consolidation regime that they wanted to introduce. Funds that were supposed to be released to contractors to continue the work were delayed. So how do you blame Akufo-Addo?
But subsequently, they have released much more to ensure the actual work is done.
But Samson,
than all the period you had.
You see, what do you mean by all the period that you had? All the period that we had was intended to do components of the program. The engineering, were they not done? Okay. Or the expectation was that we will start the construction before the engineering.
All right, you've been heard.
So let's not. Let's
thank you.
Let's not.
Thank you. Let me go to Percy Anna-Bukhari, who is president of the Ghana Institute of Planning, and they have issued a statement to yesterday. They issued it yesterday, and they are saying a number of things. I'm asking myself, what is new in what you are saying? We need to protect waterways and wetlands. We need to restore natural and engineered drainage system. We need to strengthen planning and development control. We need to invest in climate resilient infrastructure. We need to enhance preparedness and resilience. And we need to strengthen institution and financing. What's new in what you're saying? And are you sure you're being listened to at all?
Yeah. Good morning, Samson, and your cherished viewers and listeners. Thank you very much. You said what is new and are we been listening to? Yes, so as a professional body, together with my other professional bodies, the engineering, survey, architects, and the rest, the work we need to do is also do technical feasibilities of what is happening and come out with the planning solutions. Our colleagues from engineering have done that, and we are also coming out with the planning solutions. Yes, certainly this is not, an isolated phenomenon. Every year, around June, July, you find these things coming up. In March this year, I was on a sister station, and I told them that come June, July 2026, we are going to have floods, and the floods will be very devastating. I said this not out of any prophecy, but out of consistently for the past 6 to 7 years, what has been happening around June, July.
But the Meteo had already given us the alert. Meteo had already given us the alert about the waters that were going to come in.
Sure. Yes. So it's based on the Meteo alert and the forecasting that we had. That what was informing what was going to happen. So there can be rains and there can be floods, but the devastation can be mitigated. And there are ways for mitigating these floods. The first one that we said is that we should put a halt, a temporary to permanent halt of the building on waterways and also the hills that we have, which are the watersheds for most of the drains that come to Accra, the mainland Accra. If you are driving going uphill the Ebri Mountains, for the past 4 to 5 years, we've seen buildings coming up on the Ebri Mountains. We sounded this alarm in 2022.
Percy, kindly hold on for me. President John Mahama is getting to Alajo right now to continue day 2 of the cleaning, and we want to give you an idea of how it looks like as the president arrives at Alajo. Hello, Fatal. Let's hear you.
Basically, we are right at Alajo, where the president is set to arrive in the next few minutes to join some top government officials who are here. I've seen the minister in charge of local government. I've also seen the Greater Accra regional minister and some senior government officials who are here at the moment. And as I speak with you, heaps of refuse have been cleared here. Early this morning, in fact, around Alajo, heaps of waste were scattered around the whole place. But as I speak with you, they've been able to clear many of that. Let me engage the local government minister just to appreciate what this particular exercise is going to. Honorable, thank you very much. Your live on Joy News. Talk to us briefly. I know the president is almost here, but talk to us about the heaps of refuse that are scattered around the city. How do you intend to clear all of that?
Yeah, we are not ending today. The president is coming. We have ordered for another additional trucks. You could see that there are about 40 or 60 at-water trucks that are coming to augment whatever we have here. And it's not only here. If you follow this road you see that there are plenty packed there. Today is the day people are cleaning their houses. So you will see more waste than what you are even seeing. And that is why we are not stopping until we ask for additional hands. Yesterday we used 400 tricycles. Today we are using 600. We are bringing 40 or 60 additional Akota trucks. And we are doing it. With that, within the next possible week, we will be able to finish the evacuation and continue with the sweeping.
So we can still see a vehicle inside the bigger drain. What are the plans to get it removed?
Yeah, once we do the evacuation, we do this evacuation of the heap that you see here, then attention will go to that one too. We were on it yesterday and we couldn't finish, but that does not mean we have abandoned it. We'll go back to it.
Can you give me the number of vehicles that were removed from it?
I may not be able to give you the specific because it is a nationwide exercise.
So the president is here, and yes, so the minister would have to welcome him. But as I speak with you, they've been able to clear some of the heaps of refuse here at Alajo. The president himself yesterday was here. He gave the assurance that the government intends to get more equipment that would help in clearing these waste materials. Because in fact, he said that if these items are not, or these materials are not cleared, then it means that if there's a rainfall, all of those will be washed again into the drains, and that could potentially lead to flooding. In fact, he also spoke about the fact that the residents or citizens should stop dumping refuse recklessly into the various drains. When they do that and there's flooding, it's their own lives that will be affected. So the president has just arrived here, and he would soon get briefing from the Greater Accra Regional Minister and that of the local government minister. They were here earlier to supervise the clearing of the refuse here at Alajo. So the president is here, and he would take the briefing and then later address the gathering about what they intend to do generally. In fact, yesterday he said that the 2 days are not enough, and the government plans to, set aside a day, every month, so that it will help in keeping the city clean in order to prevent devastating flooding as we head into the future. So basically that situation now, Samson, you see the president in your shots there, engaging some of the people here at Alajo. And Samson, the reason why the government is paying so much attention to this place is that it was one of the most affected communities in Accra following the June 29 floods that inundated the capital. So that's the president in the short there at the moment, speaking with some of the security officials who are have been very instrumental in terms of helping to clean the places within the city. And he's taking brief from them. After that, he would just walk to the. Then the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kobnafo, is also here. The member of parliament for Ayawaso Central. So the president is now moving to the officials to get first-hand information about what they are doing at the moment and to supervise this whole exercise here at Alajo. There are still heaps of refuse here though, but I have seen the equipment, a backhoe just close to that, and some Zoom line officers are clearing that. So I'm sure maybe in the next few minutes all of these refuse here would be
all right, Fatah Bayaga there is following the president at Alajo. As and when the president begins to speak, we'll get back there and hear what new he has to say. But I was also interested in the question that I had a lady journalist ask the minister about the fact that, cars were swept in some of these huge drains, and there are still some sitting in the Alajo drain there. I have gone through that place and seen them, mountains of the refuse. Thankfully, Fatah says the refuse are being collected, but 11 days and we have cars that were left in the drains still sitting in there. He didn't seem to have a direct answer to that. Yes, Bernard, quickly. Sorry, I was actually with Percy. Percy, you were making the point about what you intend to contribute through the release you have made, and hoping that you'll be listened to. Let's get you to finish up on your points.
Okay, thank you very much, Samson. So we said we should protect the waterways and then the wetlands. You know, the drains, why Alajo is receiving a lot of the issues are that is I think the last but one major settlement before the water enters Kole. It takes its source from the mountains and it goes through Abokobi, it goes through Madina, it goes through areas around Oyarifa, Abofun, before it gets there. And that is just the Odo. There are other basins that are tributaries to this same drain. So once it goes in there, then it gives them the impact. What we are saying is that we should halt the wanton destruction of the vegetation on those watersheds, that is the hills. So as you are approaching the Ebri area, even the cliffs, the sharp cliffs or edges are being built on. If you go ahead and allow them to do those developments, it takes away the topsoil. People build there, the runoffs go straight into the drains. And we don't have well-built retention ponds. We need some retention ponds. There were a number of retention ponds in the past. For those of you who are aware, the current location of the DBLA head office, which is around Rabbit area, Transitions area, that whole area and those enclaves are wetlands.
So government is even complicit, you know, when we are blaming indiscipline on citizens who are building on waterways. Well, how did they get to build in the waterways when officials of the local assemblies are there and should not allow the buildings to come up in the waterways and the Ramsar site? Last week we had a Garrett official here who showed us a picture that doesn't give you a good future at all. Places where 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even 3 years ago, were not as dense and overtaken by development, where there shouldn't be any development, are all being taken over. And I ask the question, sir, you are the ones talking about, you know, planning and so on. Those structures that are supposed to be demolished, when we demolish them, the concrete and everything is left. Let's hear the president quickly.
Back in. And so today we're going to concentrate on scooping all that garbage we took.
Yes.
To the dump sites and go and dump them. But we know that if you look at the city and all the garbage we've taken out, we cannot do it in one day. So we'll all help to do it today. But agencies will continue until we're able to clear all the garbage that was. We've had more than 9 years ago. Unfortunately, they were not put into operation. So we've asked us and others can take the garbage big truck.
The edges of the you know, drains to the point or last destination where they should be. And he's talking about things that were started 9 years ago that have not been followed up and will be followed up. And as I listen to him, it's obvious that he's listening to you guys. He's listening to everybody as we complain about what is sitting there that must be taken care of even before any further thing is done. Yes, so Percy, I was asking, and if you can be quick on this for us, about structures are being demolished from in places where they shouldn't have been. But when you demolish, you don't remove the concrete, footings and whatever foundations remain. So it's zero, cause zero, is it not?
Yes. Oh well. As for the structures being demolished and then removing all the debris, it must be a thorough work for us. 10,500 developments have been seen on waterways and wetlands. If they are supposed to be demolished, there should be a roadmap of how they will be demolished and how the demolition would go on. And the debris must be taken away completely. And what happens to the demolished area? It means we need to still enforce the buffer zones. If it is a 20 meter or 30 meter to the left and to the right of the entire basin, let's protect it, and let's protect it very well from all the assemblies. For us, when it comes to blame, we don't want to just shift blame on one side or the other. We have issues that have to do with the landowners. We have issues that have to do with the attitude of the Ghanaian. We have issues that have to do with government to release funds for the implementation of Gamma structure plan. We have the Gamma master plan when it comes to underground water and when it comes to the water as a whole, what we call the Gamma drainage master plan. And we should release funds for all the interventions that have been put in to be done. And if you watch these plans, I'll be sharing them with you. If you watch these plans, most of the interventions that are needed to prevent some of these floods or mitigate the impact of some of these floods have been well espoused in there. And on top of it, we are saying that MMDCEs must be given key performance indicators, among which include ensure that you don't build on waterways as these things are being demolished. Samson and your panelists. Today, by next week, special planning committees are going to sit on applications that have been made by developers. What are we doing to prevent further building on these areas and in these reserved areas? What are we doing? So immediately we should have a comprehensive plan to name and shame all the chief executives, coordinating directors, planning officers, works department people who have appended their signatures to all these permits must be named. And once they are named, we do an investigation and we ensure that we give them the necessary punishments that we need to do.
Thank you.
And once we do this, the whole system will take us serious, and then we would have these things.
Thank you very much, Percy. Thank you very much, Percy Anab Buguri, who is president of the Ghana Institute of Planning. They have issued a statement and suggested many things that they believe, if government pursues them, will bring us solution. I'm too familiar with this. They're happening all the time. It's about what action we are able to take. Let's wrap up. Yes, Bernard.
Yes, so I was asked the question when President Mahama got to know, and I answered that President Akufo-Addo, yes, on the 3rd day of June 2019 in Canada, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo met with the Ghanaian community in Canada. And he said this, if you look at graphic online, he stated that the perennial flooding in Accra is heavily driven by indiscipline rather than just poor engineering, noting that some residents persistently dump refuse into gutters when it rains. He further stressed that no amount of government investment will solve the problem unless citizens change their attitudes. Read more. I don't have time. So this is what the then President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo told the Ghanaian community in Canada. And he even told them that they should advise their people back in Ghana not to be, indulging in that. So it is not just President Mahama that has seen it. And that when my senior brother knew and was a minister in the government, his president said that. But you see something, and that is where my shock is. I thought that we were doing this thing, devoid of partisan politics. But he came in and then a government, his own government, who declared on the 24th day of April 2017, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who declared that he will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. He is the one talking after 8 years. What did we see? The cleanest city in Africa. We are not ashamed to now come and defend this and then blame another government. At least President Mahama is still in office. 1.5 years, say he is failed. You may say that, but at least he has time to right the wrong. You did 8 years. You established a sanitation ministry. Something, relax, wait. A sanitation ministry, the minister drew salary, wrote in land cruises. What were the achievements? In the 8-year rule of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, are you saying that the problems we have today is just a 1.5 year problem? Who is saying this? And you are talking about promises. Go and read your manifesto from 2017 to 2024. What happened to the clean city in Africa, Accra? So what are we saying? Look, President Akufo-Addo committed to sign the WASH. Samson, do you remember the WASH project? Let's not go there. Because you see, when we do this, it will be
I have to respond.
No, don't worry. I don't have a problem. But allow me. Allow me. So you see, when we are here, I thought that we were looking at the way forward. But they were worse. MPP were worse under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because one of his trump card was that he would make Accra the cleanest city. At the time he was living off. That is why after he made mention of that on the 24th day of April 2017, and he realized that the thing is not as easy as he thought. He went on to Canada
long before Jacob Echebilamte.
Thank you. I didn't even want to. I remember
giving the same responsibility.
I remember. So Samson, it is a problem of all of us. But if you come and then you decide to take, I don't have a problem if you say that. But that is what we started. And we all admitted, I sat here and said that it's a problem for all of us and with all of us. But if you come and then you now want to pontificate as though His Excellency Nana Addo was any better, he was worse, in fact, because he declared that he will make it. And I'm asking you have been around for a long time. You remember the WASH project? Yes. The 1.7 billion, what happened to it?
It's a mess.
What happened to it?
You didn't see anything.
So you see, you don't come today and then make it as though you did something better. You were worse. You were terribly worse.
All right.
Samson,
no, it's important that I respond. You see, you can say all that you want. I'm saying that at the time in May 2024 that President Mahama, then candidate Mahama, was making this comment before, he had been president before. He had been president before Nana Akufo-Addo. He knew the issues.
He saw May 9th.
He knew it. Yet, rather than at the time in 2024 attributing the problem to indiscipline, he blamed Akufo-Addo. And then went further to make promises in his manifesto that was launched in August of 2024. I shouldn't hold him to account on his manifesto.
Before he blamed Akufo-Addo.
What are you talking about?
Before he blamed Akufo-Addo, I have read to you in 2015.
I agree.
He blamed it on indiscipline.
Not a problem at all. So then again, it comes back to the hypocrisy.
So when he is in power,
when he is in power, it's indiscipline. When he is in opposition, it's another. Please, what are you talking about? Look, whether I like it or not.
What about Akufo-Addo?
MPP lost an election. You won based on this, and we'll hold you to it whether I like it or not.
We have more time.
So don't tell me about my West.
But you were West.
Gentlemen,
it doesn't matter.
8 years.
You were in government.
Let's focus.
And we'll hold you what?
Let's focus.
We are still in power. But you were
There's always a point to start, and the president is showing leadership by what he did yesterday and today also is continuing. So let's see how it goes.
By this PR gimmicks,
the president is
inspiration. Symbolism to inspire.
Inspiration. I'm not inspired. If you are, hallelujah.
What I'm going to say will sound controversial.
I want to work,
but please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Did you do it?
The reason why I'm saying it is because I'm worried about the quality of the thinking and all the things that have been thrown out. For instance, dredge the Kole. The Kole has been dredged for the past 20 years. And I said way back then that the dredging of the Kole will not work. It's simple. The Kole is a river in its mature stage about to enter the sea. When the river meets the sea slows it down. And if there is anything, or there's usually, stuff in the thing, it will deposit. That will not change. It's the geography of this place. I don't have time to explain it. So dredging the Kole won't work. Don't go and waste our money there. The way to do it is to create locks. Those who can't understand it, study what the Dutch did. Okay, number one. Number two, demolition won't work. Demolition won't work because you are going to do what you call
demolish somebody's property on a waterway. The waterway, riparian soil is soft, it soaks water. Okay, when you compact it and you build on it, you have changed the nature of the soil. If you demolish the building on top of it, it doesn't change anything. Unless you restore that space. We'd never do that. Now, you can actually reclaim that land if you are prepared to engineer and make sure you create more space for the water that used to go there. Again, study what the Dutch did. If you are not sure, just Google how the Dutch tamed the sea.
It's good you posted the alert and the warning before you made a statement.
Yes.
But an engineer had said this to me also, that demolition is not the way to go. It's already happened.
Yeah.
We can re-engineer.
We should re-engineer because, you see, development is never in abeyance. You would always develop. And when you develop, you come into conflict with nature. When you take off some areas of nature, you have to compensate nature. So that's what we need to do. I'm saying this because there's a lot of thinking about all these things. And again, the politicians tend to do the easiest things. Go and demolish things, and then people will see, oh, you are doing something, they leave it there, nothing happens. So please, this is not the way. Again, it comes down to getting the right professionals and putting them to work over time. This kind of knee-jerk reactions, we do it, we leave and we go. And then, it is not excusable that after a week, you have vehicles in drains. When you have district chief executives, municipal chief executives, and all kinds of people supposedly running the city. And then it takes the president and a whole nationwide effort to go and fish these things out. Who is in charge of that? Why can't we have a situation where cleaning is done daily by people who we are paying to clean and who are supervised to clean?
It takes money. They may not have the money. You think that the one responsible for the Alajo situation, the president was there yesterday, saw the situation. You think he would just sit down, watch it, knowing that the president is returning to the place again today? I think they may not have the funding to do it.
You see the sanitation level we collected. Is it money? Is it not enough?
2 billion.
You see how much garage projects. Okay, you see how much money we've spent on this thing. It's about leadership, planning, execution.
Thank you. So, Ted and Juliet, we have your closing comments on this. So let's begin with Dr. Yemo. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Samson. I would want to support most of the things my former schoolmate Confidential has put across.
Okay.
But first of all, yes, I want to say that it is very unfortunate that we are taking the...
Sorry, Doc. I just remembered we are forgetting Kofi is an engineer.
No, I'm not.
You are not?
No, I'm a fake engineer.
You're a fake engineer.
I don't have qualifications in engineering.
Okay, go on.
Samson, please, I don't want to go into that one.
All right.
What I'm saying is that it is highly unfortunate that we are desilting, we are moving garbage from, or in this exercise, and depositing it into a wetland. Wetlands have been abused. We don't have time for that. But once you touch it, you must restore it. You must respect it.
Right.
And that's partly the reason, yes, Kofi was saying that. And my issue with the landfills, please, what we are not doing is that we are not practicing waste diversion. If 70+ of the waste we generate is organic, and we have another 15-20% plastics, if these are diverted from the waste stream, what volume goes to the landfills? That's the reason why we run out of landfill sites.
What you are saying is that this waste we are dealing with is actually wealth.
Exactly. So, and you mentioned employment generation. I've said it several times. If you go to the markets, where unfortunately you have heaps of garbage stuff there, 99% of that garbage is organic, that can be diverted and create. If you have a factory whose raw material is organic material, when do you run out of raw materials? And we are not thinking about these things. So, and it's very unfortunate. So the landfills, we should first divert the degradable material from it, and we'll be left with a volume that can be contained in the landfill, instead of just dumping everything there with all the public health issues. And then finally, we should consider relocating the capital and reduce the pressure on all of us. Thank you very much.
That's a proposal. That's a proposal the president has made. We've heard it before, haven't we? But when will it ever happen? When will we get a president who will behave like the president of Nigeria at the time? Lagos had to give in to Abuja to begin a good planning. You go into Abuja today. Long ago, 2006, as far back as 2006, I walk into Abuja and drivers, call them taxi or whoever, they will take you to a numbered house. They will take you to a numbered street. And it was working. Why can't we do that? All right, thank you. Yes, Doc. Juliet, what will be your closing comments about this? In the situation where we feel there is so much indiscipline, as the president says, and we all agree this is going on, and there seems to be, the law is broken, observed rather in breach, and we have this mounting situation on our hands, and there's a lot of unemployment. Should the president be thinking about what we used to call the tankers and mobilize maybe 1,000 youth, young people, perhaps those who sought to go into the security services and didn't get, the opportunity. Give them a job, pay them for the next how many years, and make sure they enforce the law, they are making sure the cleaning is done, and so on and so forth. What do you think?
All right, Samson, so I work with cities and municipalities across the U.S. And one key thing that I've observed or that we help them do is planning and long-term investment. So all that you described sounds like a temporary fix, or sound like for lack of better terms, kind of a patchy work. But we need to help our cities think long-term and plan long-term when it comes to waste management. And I'll still insist that we need to address silt when it comes to choking of our drains. We are not addressing silt, and it's one of the things that will continue to choke our drains, even if waste management is dealt with. And so we need to address silt. Now, on the waste management, as I was saying, cities that I work with do 20-year, we do what we call integrated waste management master plan. We do 20-year planning where we take into account the number of people in the city, the amount of waste generated, the types of waste generated, right? And then we do, let's say, 20-year projection. In the future, in 20 years, how much waste are we estimating to produce? Now, after we do that, we look at, which parts of the waste? And so I am glad that Dr. Yemo even went into that. Which part of the waste can be recycled? What can be recovered? And based on that, we make provisions for what cannot be recycled that needs to go to landfill. And then we have engineered landfill sites. In Accra, we don't have enough engineered landfill sites. So the waste that we see dumped anywhere is because partly the citizens don't have, provision. Provision is not made for them to do the right thing. You barely see waste bins around, and even when the waste bins are full, they are not picked up. So even people who want to do the right thing are not able to, do the right thing because the waste will sit in their houses or in their shops, in the commercial areas for a long time, and nobody is picking that. It's because our waste landfills are full. And so I even heard the regional minister, Accra regional minister, saying that for this particular exercise, some dumping sites that were closed have been instructed to reopen to accept some of the waste that they'll be collecting today. Why is that? That is not a long-term solution, or, after today, what next? Are they going to be opened still, or are they going to be closed? Because those were illegal dumping sites, right? But we are reopening them to accept the waste that will be collected through this cleanup exercise, which shows that there is an underlying issue that needs to be dealt with. And it goes back to the long-term planning that I was describing, providing adequate bins, providing resources for waste collection. And when that happens, then the city ensures that private waste haulers are paid well to do the collection and sent to either landfill or recovery. And the organics, I'm glad that Dr. Yemo talked about the organics. We can convert it to renewable energy. We can convert it to compost fertilizer. All these are tried and tested technologies that that are available, right? And all these are beyond indiscipline, or they are beyond an individual's actions. These are structural provisions that need to be done by local governments or by the state. And this is what will help people do the right thing. And then on top of that, having people to enforce the laws or make people do the right thing. You can't just say indiscipline and leave it there. You have to enforce the laws. In America, people don't just litter, not because, they don't like littering. It's because you be driving and you see that littering, fine, $1,000. And there are cameras that are monitoring. And that is because human beings will naturally not, do the right thing. You have to enforce the laws. So that part, I think I would like to stress that we need to make the provisions, the long-term planning, the engineered landfill sites, and enforcing the laws. And this will help us get somewhere when it comes to a cleaner environment, and not just think that, because people are indisciplined, we cannot have cleaner cities. And we need to cure indiscipline first. Let's have more structural systems that makes provision for people to do the right thing. And then we can punish indiscipline. So that's what I'll add to that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And as we wrap up this and move on to the next subject, I'll want to appeal to the president. I know he's listening to us now, and those of you who are with him, maybe you would want to consider that you can ensure that whilst you establish the sanitation and special planning enforcement, you can have a special planning enforcement corps. I'm talking about the recruits for security services who don't make the cut. There are thousands of disciplined, fiscally fit young Ghanaians who narrowly miss the final cut for the military, police, and immigration services recruit. You can direct those of some of these vetted applicants to be pulled into a dedicated enforcement corps under, say, a fixed 5-year tenure, arm them with strict enforcement mandates. They will provide the continuous boots on the ground presence for our local assemblies because they lack that. And having also had the community service bill passed, maybe, Mr. President, immediately operationalize it by ensuring that the secretariat is put in place so that there will be immediate activation of the secretariat for that to also do some work. All the money in the garage and so on, we can push some of it as salary for these people to work. Yeah.
There is a lot of indiscipline in the city. For instance, parking offenses.
All right.
Please, we can monetize indiscipline.
Correct.
Okay. All kinds of people are parked in wrong places. Told them, find them. You will make millions every month. Use it for sanitation. So, Mr. President, monetize indiscipline. Use that money to pay these young men to sort these things out. We need a dedicated force and proper thinking and engineering to solve the sanitation problem. Communal labor won't solve it.
No, but it's something, communal labor is in our law.
Right.
Chieftaincy.
It won't solve anything.
Right. Yes, it's in a chieftaincy.
It won't solve anything.
Section 63.
It still won't solve anything.
Oh, please. But it's in our law.
Okay,
it doesn't mean it will solve anything.
Done. Thank you very much. But Mr. President, I wish you consider the appeal. After listening to everybody else and seeing that you are overwhelmed by these things and it is happening over and again, I believe that the thousands of recruits who are getting some military training of sort, they are young, they are fit, they are energetic, we can get 1,000, 2,000 of them and direct some of this garage money that we are using for all sorts of things, building that is not working, and give them a tenure and get them into action. Please, operationalize please assent to the bill that Parliament has passed just this month quickly, and get the Secretariat to working. People committing misdemeanor offences, let's not throw them into jail. Let's get them on the field, and then get them to work as well. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Danica. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, strong, tough.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Discover Willow Lane in Sakumono, one of Ghana's most prime community. These expertly designed 4-bedroom homes feature a private elevator, 4 ensuite bedrooms, private balconies, walk-in closets, and a gourmet kitchen and a maid's quarters. Perfect for families, executives, investors, and retirees. Our community offers a swimming pool, playground, and 3-tier security for your peace of mind. Experience the ultimate in comfort, convenience, and community here at Willow Lane, Sakumo. Visit waylead.org or call 0240-111119 or 0308-040500 to book your tour today. Waylead, your trusted home builder.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis only on GoTV.
Welcome back, and let me share some of your messages with you. I'll start on quite a lighter note. Cedro Leonard is a lawyer, a very good lawyer I know, and he says, is it by happenstance or by design that all your studio guests have bald heads?
You take off your car.
I do. I have hair. Cedro. Charlie.
Some hair to the
But does he have hair himself?
He doesn't keep one. But he has half if he wants to keep. Yeah. All right. He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
Darrell Bosu says that Dr. Juliet Ntiamwa and Percy Anab have said it all. We need bold, long-term fixes. Thank you very much. And then, who is this? Says that sometimes I see Joy News always want soundbite for their newsroom. If not, the politicians need to be ashamed every day they open their mouth. We pay presidential staffers huge sums of money and pay less to engineers, planners, and spatial analysts, and we expect them to succeed. We honor talkatives, and these talkatives assume they are wise, but they know they have nothing to show. Lecturers are all leaving classrooms to the TV and radio to join the talkative because it pays well. Oh, really? It doesn't really pay. This is commitment, sacrifices that people make. This is from Victor Aparga. People don't get paid coming to the television to talk.
Hated.
You're right, they get hated. Oh, okay, you mean politics. I think that's what he means when he gets into politics. Prince Henry in Koforidia says, our problem in this country is politicization of everything. When we politicize it, let's still solve it. Why does the politicization stop the solution? So I don't get that part. In other parts of the continent, waste products are used to make money and create employment. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you. And that's what I was saying. And you heard my direct appeal to the president. I hope the president begins to think about that appeal. This one, Nana Beyin, he says that it's true that the state is complicit in the indiscipline. And then he shows me the Sagleme housing project. Oh God, Sagleme housing project is still sitting there and rotting. Completely built across the path of two drainages are shown by the green. So he's showing me where we built the project. Around Legon, when we were there, 2001, 99, 2001, thereabout, 2000, 2001, thereabout, there were places somewhere down there that you could see their water containers outside of the gates down there. We are building on all those places. I think even the places where the McDonald buildings all are sitting, you know, there are places that appear to be places that can contain, but we are filling them up and building. And we are building state properties, so that's what I'm talking about, not private properties. Papa Bisu in Sphincter says, it seems we are confusing ourselves with two different issues. We have the desilting of drains done by drainage companies and sweeping streets of Accra by Zoom Lion. Hence, to say sweeping street is no longer being done by Zoom Lion. That contract has been taken away from them. And we say because Zoom Lion sweeping the street contract was terminated, resulted in the flood. Totally wrong. Please and please, the desilting drains in the gutters. Some of us are aware that the sector equally goes through some bidding processes where smaller companies also have a share of the national cake. We do not need to confuse the two sectors. That's desilting drains and sweeping the streets. Okay, I'm not sure anybody has spoken about what you are talking about here today. This one says, quite an interesting coincidence that on Thursday, I went to the Adenta market looking for local chicken. We'll get there shortly. Wearing Ghana Army white Lacoste shirt during cleanup exercise with the commander-in-chief present, we can't even get the optics right. leadership in this town is a mess. And Chubuetiako sent in that one. Okay, so I'll take a break on the messages and then we'll continue them shortly. But before then, Yakubu Ibn Chambers in Walwale says, on the flooding matter, the devastation is a consequence of our collective behavioral lapses coupled with political insincerity on the part of politicians. Nature, in its own wisdom, is whipping the citizenry into discipline. If the weight on the capital city is so heavy to bear, then we might just move the capital away from Accra. Part of the solutions President Mahama is talking about, but, you know, may take 2 8-year political cycles to be able to get that done. The solution for the perennial flooding lies not in rhetorical and lyrical mastery. Thank you for that. And the show, as always, is brought to you by Bank of Africa, strong as a group and close as a partner, MTN. Everywhere you go. Ashesi University, educating ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa. Robert & Sons Optical Services, your comprehensive eye care service provider for 33 plus years. My Way Insurance, dial *165# on MTN to join My Way today. Syntex Tanks, it's strong, it's tough. Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature. And Gold Board Jewelry, pure, precious, and proudly Ghanaian. Let's go and watch these footages about the contestation surrounding the rearrest of Hanan. We'll be back in the studio.
We were not given the opportunity to see our client at all. Indeed, we were told flatly that they don't allow lawyers to see their clients on weekends. And that's quite perplexing. I'm surprised. If a person is arrested, say on Friday night or Saturday, he will be in without access to counsel. I mean, that's the republic in which we live now. And indeed, he's been picked up for no reason. As far as someone said, he's just been banded off into custody for no reason whatsoever. He's been given the right to leave the country, to travel to the country for a few days by a court of competent jurisdiction. The Deputy Attorney General himself was in court and argued, and this colleague of mine argued that day. And if indeed he had any objection to the order granted, he only had to appeal. Well, he had to sort this surreptitious means of preventing from traveling. I think that this is totally unwarranted and unnecessary. There's no order of any court of competent jurisdiction preventing from accessing his account. The only order that they had was procured over a year ago before the discontinuance of the earlier prosecution. And we have a court ruling, a ruling of the High Court Adenta about 3 weeks ago to the effect that that order has lapsed. And that if the Attorney General indeed desires to come for a fresh freezing order, he has to apply to the court. He has not done so. There is no order of any court preventing from accessing his funds. Be that as it may, he has not accessed any funds at all. It should produce to the public, to the whole Ghanaian Republic, for us to see the manner in which he claims Hanan attempted to withdraw any money from the account.
Because in the first place, there has been no attempt by Hanan Abdul Wahab to withdraw any money from any account of his. Secondly, no account of his is frozen in the Republic of Ghana. I mean, thirdly, a court of law has given an order, essentially giving him permission to travel out of the jurisdiction for medical purposes. And the Attorney General is aware of it. The Attorney General was actually in court. The Deputy Attorney General was in court. He argued. After hearing the arguments, the trial judge granted his order, permitting him to travel. If the Attorney General is dissatisfied by the grant of the order for him to travel, they should have filed an appeal against the order. So there is no basis at all for his arrest. It's just an act of impunity. And now I can understand that the Attorney General is actually behind all the violations of human rights in the country. Yes, he himself owned up to it. And in owning up to it, he lied, clearly. The statement on Facebook by the Deputy Attorney General was a complete lie. Now, for instance, that the Attorney General himself, who clearly issued an order for his arrest, is in contempt of court. And I'm going to file contempt of court proceedings against Dr. Ayini as well as Semsai personally, as the Director General of BNI.
Well, so as we know, Hanan, the former boss of the Buffer Stock, company, and his wife standing trial over a 78.2 million money that is said to have to be corruptly, they have dealt with. Now, this arrest appears to be the third time they are suffering a situation. First time they were arrested, put in court, the charges withdrawn later, and then they suffered getting bail. Then I understand the second time, the same issue, suffering getting bail, he got sick and all of that. Then this time around, he gets arrested when the court has given him the all clear to go to the UK to treat himself. And once again, we're told that bail was going to be used again to put him in trouble. So he was not released at a time when he ought to have been released. And then later on, it looks like the law enforcement found that insisting on bail was going to give them bad public, image. So they released him even without bail being secured for what they call a new offense. What do you know about this, Ejapa Mensah?
It's something I'm at extreme difficulty because of the personalities involved at the Attorney General's office. Dr. Dominic Aini was my professor in the law faculty. Sremsa and I worked together on some case for a client of ours, and so I know him personally. I know their competencies. I know their position on the rule of law. And for the first time, I stand corrected, 2 law professors occupying the office of the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General. We who know them professionally, and even the public, I suspect, expected that they were going to be, that fidelity to the rule of law was going to be what would guide their actions. But the happenings in the Attorney General's department, personally, leaves a lot to be desired. This matter regarding Hanan, and I've taken pain, liberty to go through all the processes. And I find it rather worrying that under the aegis of the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, an order of court granting leave for an accused person to travel out of the jurisdiction will be handled in the manner that it was handled. Indeed, if it was an ex parte application, then you would probably excuse the AG for the arrest, But this application and the order pursuant thereto was made on notice. Hanan filed the application for the leave to travel on the 12th of June 2026. Motion on notice, application for leave to travel out of the jurisdiction for medical care. This was duly served
because he's on bail and his passport is in the custody of the state.
And so he needed the permission of court to travel outside. On notice to the Attorney General. The Attorney General's office filed an affidavit in response on the 24th of June 2026 and canvassed essentially some reason why they felt that the order should not be granted. They were of the view that in respect of some averments that had been made, an acceptable official medical certificate of diagnosis ought to be provided. Again, they were of the view that a certificate of record of previous instance of medical care ought to be provided. And in respect of some averments, they were of the view that an acceptable certificate of medical appointment in London ought to be provided. This is the affidavit in response to the application.
In opposition.
In opposition, if you like. But they headed it affidavit in response. That's why I'm using their own words.
So let's cut to the chase. They lost their point. The judge didn't buy their point and granted the application for
it's important. It's important. I mean, I know that you are managing time, but it's important. Hanan then filed a supplementary affidavit and provided additional information to satisfy the issues that the Attorney General's Department had raised. A date was fixed for determination of the motion. Oral arguments were taken, and the court, after listening to both parties, then granted leave for Hanan to travel to the UK and seek the medical care that he so required. He goes to the airport, and for some strange reason, he's arrested. The Deputy Attorney General announces on his Facebook post that law enforcement have a while ago arrested Hanan, who is currently standing trial for stealing and causing financial loss, blah, blah, blah. It was, however, Mr. Aludiba's attempt to use false means to empty his frozen bank account with the Republic Bank on Thursday, which occasioned tonight's arrest.
That is to say, a new crime is being committed. That's why they have arrested
according to them. Now, subsequently, the Attorney General files a motion for an order to revoke the leave that was granted to the first accused person to travel to London on dated 29/06. So expectation would have been that attempt to empty his bank account would be what the Attorney General canvasses in his main application as the reason why the order of court ought to be vacated. Sadly, the Attorney General seemed to be re-arguing the application for the leave that they argued, pursuant to which the court granted leave for the accused person to travel. So I asked myself, they do not provide any evidence of a check that had been issued by Hanan on Republic Bank to withdraw the funds from his account. They do not provide any evidence of a letter that Hanan had written to the bank authorizing them to transfer the money to another account. They do not provide any evidence of an email or a withdrawal slip. So I asked myself, what is the basis of the assertion that the gentleman attempted to empty his account? The reason why a lawfully issued court order will be trampled upon in the manner that the Attorney General's office did when the gentleman attempted to travel out of there.
And remember, their main point is that this account is frozen, so you are not supposed to touch it.
But then again, that in itself is questionable.
But first,
yes.
You are holding the affidavit that they have filed, the application together with the affidavit, and you are saying that the reasons that Justice Ramsay gave on social media about an attempt to empty the Republic Bank account is not made.
Yes.
Not at all.
They only mention that A1, which is the accused person, submitted an order of court to the bank to suggest, if you permit me.
It's okay to look for it and read it.
Let me just read it. Okay, I thought I highlighted it. So Hanan had.
Once you are doing, let me look for the specific paragraph.
Yes. Hanan had, in a previous matter, which was determined by the High Court on 20th of May, before His Lordship Justice Kwame Jan Osei, had sought for the court to vacate the order freezing.
Let me read the specific paragraphs before you go there. They said that subsequent to the court's travel leave to him, after he had been granted leave to travel, Hanan attempted to withdraw all the money in the bank account, notwithstanding that the freezing confirmation orders on the bank accounts remained undischarged. To achieve the purpose of withdrawing all the money from the said bank accounts, Hanan represented to his bankers at Republic Bank that the prevailing court freezing confirmation orders on all the bank accounts had been discharged by the High Court, a final one. The document which Hanan presented to his bankers as the basis for his representation that the High Court has discharged the freezing confirmation order is a court ruling in an entirely different matter, namely suit number so and so, May 20, 2026. Please go ahead.
You see, Samson, that assertion comes to me as extremely strange. Recall that Hanan was arrested and charged. When he was arrested and during the investigation, the investigators issued freezing orders by the executive director of EOCO, multiple occasions. And those multiple occasions required the confirmation of court on multiple occasions. And so the freezing of his accounts required that they go to court to go and confirm. That will require a suit number. The freezing of his property will require that they go to court for confirmation. That will require another suit number. But all those different suit numbers related to the same investigation based on which he was charged. Now, the Attorney General discontinued that charge.
Right.
So Hanan, thinking that that freezing order was still in place, then goes to court to seek the court to discharge his properties. This is what the court, after evaluating the fact before it, said.
Right.
The court said that indeed the applicant was cautioned on 30 June 2025 and the administrative freeze was issued on 29 August 2025. This is in respect of the properties that are listed in the application that Hanan brought to court.
Okay.
It is common knowledge that the Attorney General has since 5th May 2026 withdrawn all the charges against the applicant.
This is the court speaking.
This is the court speaking.
Okay.
Leading to his discharge by the High Court Accra. It is also common knowledge that the applicant has since been rearrested. This development has a direct effect on the present application because following the withdrawal of the charges against the applicant, the freezing order was automatically discharged. Question is the freezing order in issue restricted only to the matters that he had applied, or it applied to all the freezing orders in respect of the charge that had been leveled against him?
Okay.
He took the position, or his lawyers take the position, and I agree with them, that by this general principle that was established by the court, all freezing orders affecting his property, including his bank account, had been discharged by reason of the Attorney General discontinuing.
The judge's use is not just discharged, automatically discharged.
Yes, because there's no case.
Go ahead.
And all actions that had been taken or all orders that had been given by the court pursuant to the original charge which had been discharged, all those actions go
falling out
completely. Now, if you recharge him, you need to go back to court to go and obtain another order freezing his.
This they didn't do. From your point of view.
They haven't. So the court continued that the rearrest begins another process as the applicant ought to to be cautioned and charged with an offense.
Right.
Then he proceeds to say that there cannot be a freezing order in respect of a property when no investigation or prosecution is ongoing. The court concludes, this recent development renders the present application moot. So the court is essential for there is no valid freezing order in the first place following the withdrawal of the charges against the applicant. The application is therefore struck out. So the court essentially said to Hanan that, look, there is no order pending before me for you to ask me to discharge, because with the discontinuation of the charges against you, all the freezing orders relating to that charge has lapsed. Hanan then brings this order to the notice of his bank without more. He didn't issue a check. He did not send any emails. He did not issue any withdrawal slip. How is bringing this ruling of the High Court to the attention of the court?
Are you sure about that?
So yes,
in the affidavit by the Attorney General, they say that after he sent them the document, they say that alarmed by Hanan's obvious misrepresentation, Hanan's bankers refused Hanan's request. What request is that? And immediately informed the Office of the Attorney General and the investigators at the Economic and Organized Crime Office of Hanan's efforts to, by false means, empty his bank accounts.
Where is the exhibit evidencing that? Because it would seem to me that if the Attorney General is alleging that Hanan indeed attempted to empty his account, he could only do so through formal means. Either a check drawn on the account, either a withdrawal slip filled to withdraw money from the account, or some instruction of sorts. Did they exhibit any such document to the affidavit?
What is the...
No, let's deal with that before you...
No, they haven't. They haven't. What is the intention? What is the intention behind Hanan taking the court order to the bankers? The court order that says that all previous whatever have been discharged, they have fallen into whatever. So the Attorney General need to do things fresh. What is the intention?
But of course, his accounts have been frozen. His assets have been frozen. He's gone to court for a discharge of some assets. The court informs him that, well, as far as I'm concerned, that is the court, there's no freezing order in place. What is wrong with he bringing that to the attention of the bank that holds his accounts that has been frozen?
Okay.
What is wrong with that? But the Attorney General goes further to make subsequent allegations without providing any evidence to support it. And now they go back to court with this application, seeking to relitigate the matter that the court of law has pronounced upon. Something is worried. And I beg of my good friends, a lot of us have high regard for them. They being, me, I'm an MPP man. Okay, wishing for Dominic or Sremsai's removal will not lead to me being appointed in their place. I wish them well. But the office that they hold enjoins them to act in a certain manner. It is not only this, I'm sure we'll come to the Abu Trika one. And you've seen the write-up that Oliver Barker-Vormawor has put on social media.
About the state being abusive and disobeying court orders.
It's worrying.
Okay.
Especially with the kind of petty
I'll bring Bernard in.
Have.
Thank you. I'll bring Bernard in. But let's Kofi come in. Let's Kofi come in here. Kofi, so what do you see?
Look, what I see is a worrying trend. A worrying trend of the might of the state being deployed against one person in a crude manner that nobody.
Not to interrupt you. Don't you feel that the Attorney General has a sense that in the previous regime, under Godfrey Dame, many of the people standing at trial got the same kind of permission to go for treatment abroad, counting from Sedina, Tamaklo, Opuni, there was that man who was standing trial with Atuforsin and Japa, who was eventually, as it were, Animana, who was eventually, the case was discontinued against him because his health was failing him. Don't you feel that they have a sense that we can take lessons from that history? That when these people get these orders and they go out, they say, we are going, we'll be back. They may not come back.
The point is, if that was their fear, then at the time when the man applied to the court for permission to go out, they should have said that. And they should have taken steps to stop that. And by the way, we have bilateral relations with other jurisdictions. There are all kinds of ways of making sure. That is when I come in and say that, look, we should focus on the things that matter. So specifically on the point you are making, if your fear is that the person will abscond, there are all kinds of other ways to prevent it. Okay? Now, what they did was not that. They actually went and arrested the guy at the last point. They could have arrested him on the road before he entered the airport. They could have arrested him the day before. They wait for the guy to get into the airport, about to embark, and then you arrest him, okay? And then the charge was that he was trying to access his own account. So it is not what you
his own account that has been frozen.
Wait, I said his own account because at the time, there was a discharge on the thing. The basis upon which the account was frozen had been vacated. And there was an order to that effect with the judge. That is what Ejapa read. So
that's right.
Expressly stating that there is no issue against him. So everybody would take that to the bank and say, this is my discharge letter, give me my money. It is for the bank to say, hey, I haven't been told, so wait. Or for somebody else to raise anything, but he has no problem whatsoever in presenting that to the court. So for somebody to raise that as if it is a crime, it's worrying.
Attorney General is saying in court that when you went to court for the discharge, you went to court for the discharge in respect of your properties, not the bank account. And the judge makes a comment, which is actually judicial ruling, that says that affects your bank account. You don't bring that one, which is about your property other than the bank account, to want to give an impression that your bank account has been unfrozen.
So what you're saying, I know what you're saying, but let me explain it also to the public. You go in to buy one good. The owner of the good, the person who has authority, says that take all the goods. So you take half of the goods and leave the other half. Somebody catches you at the gate and says, you came to buy one, why are you carrying four? You say, oh, the man said I should take all. That's what has happened here. You go in, and the judge makes an express, when you said a comment, it's not a comment. This is a ruling of a judge.
I qualified it later.
Yes, yes. It has the force of law. And it says that there is nothing before me. All these issues that you are referring to and the things that come with it, they are dead. He used the word
automatically lapsed.
Automatically lapsed. This is a layman. Even for us lawyers, that is sufficient authority to present before the bank. The bank can say, I haven't seen it. But there is no problem presenting that before the bank. And the point I was making when that came in was that, so when the learned Attorney General, and like Ejapa said, these are our friends and colleagues, we know them, they are good lawyers. When he goes and says that constitutes a crime, it is worrying. It is worrying because it is either extreme sloppiness in terms of appreciation of the law and the issues, or it is malicious. And like I said, they could have arrested him on the road. They could have arrested him at 37. They could have arrested him in front of the airport. You wait for him to clear, and when he's going, you arrest him. My worry is that if it happens to Hanan, it can happen to any of us. And look, in MPP time, like you're saying, you saw similar things. My question is, when is this going to stop? And who is going to be the next? The point I started with is that no matter who you are, even if you are the president today, if the powers of the state are arrayed against you in this manner, you will suffer. So look, we should get to a point where we stop these things. This man, okay, has been arrested 3 times. And when you have that situation, look, at West...
This time he spent 4 days.
4 days?
Previously he spent far more.
Okay, 4 days. And let me make this point. Look, no complaint of sickness is unserious. No complaint of sickness is unserious.
The times he has complained of being sick in Iyoko, They have attended to him. They've taken him to hospital.
No complaint of sickness is unserious. Somebody can say, I have a headache. In 3 hours, he will be dead. Okay? In March this year, in Arizona, a man who was in ICE custody complained of a toothache. I have his name somewhere. Emmanuel Damas. Google Emmanuel Damas. He complained of a toothache. And the ICE people refused to take him to the hospital. He died. And when they checked after he died, they realized that the thing was infected. And the infection killed him. The point I'm making is, when you keep a man who is complaining of sickness for 4 days, you are putting his life at risk. Look, no matter what people have done, and by the way, when it comes to buffer stock, when they started buffer stock, I complained about it. So some of these things, when we talk about them, we say you are defending the president. No, it's a different matter. Okay?
They arrest him,
yes.
And the lawyers go there. The BNI people say, we don't work on Sunday.
But they were able to arrest him on Sunday. And by the way, when it comes to human rights and habeas corpus, as in keeping somebody, Sunday is also a day. You can die on Sunday. So that point, you see, sometimes the lower level guys say things which the upper level guys know are not true. So look, I was saying, this looks like an abuse of state power. And that's what worries me. Because the learned Attorney General and his deputy know the law that we also know. And if it's an abuse of state power, where will they stop? At the best, if it is not even an abuse, it is a very botched prosecution and process. Because they have what we have here. And if this is going to go on, and the Japan comes into office next time, is he going to do the same thing? I suppose not, I hope not. Because it must stop somewhere. Accused persons must be allowed to go through due process, must be given sufficient rights to defend themselves. With one person, the whole state comes up against him once. They don't go forward, they are not able to go forward, they didn't do their homework well, for some reason, then they drop. Then they leave the man. The man should be able to continue with his life. Then you arrest him again. You go through the whole thing, you make mistakes or whatever the reason is, you drop all the charges. Meanwhile, you've held his account. The man is sick. He wants to go out. Now they are saying Boots is not a hospital or whatever it is. I beg, please. Then you go for him the third time. On top of that, you arrest him in the airport. It's harassment. It is harassment. And it must stop somewhere. Look, somebody commits a crime, jail him, prosecute him, send him through the due process. They will all be fine, because what is going on now, we don't know what the truth is. Is it really true that
this is a man who has 78.2 million on his head?
Yes.
The state must be careful not to give him the opportunity to slip out and never come back.
Careful not to give him the opportunity means do your investigations well, don't strike 3 times. Careful not to prosecute him means that when you are going, be sure, because you have the whole state behind you to do all these things. You go once, oh, sorry, then you drop it. Then you go twice, then sorry. Meanwhile, his money is, held up there. So yes, you must be careful. In your care, we lawyers know, they say it is better for 1,000 guilty people to go free than for one innocent man.
99.
Yes. So please, we are not saying don't do your work, but the evidence on this, 3 strikes, holding his account, preventing him from traveling, putting him under all this stress, it's not prosecution, it is execution.
Bernard, there are people who feel that Hanan Aludiba is being unfairly treated, particularly the times when he has suffered detention. In the first situation, I don't recall how long, but it was so long, he couldn't get out on bail, because the bail, once again, you remember the accusations of weaponizing bail, and bail is not supposed to be punishment according to law. And yet he was held for so long. Then the second time, again, he had to suffer for quite a bit in custody. And then this third time, he spends 4 days. People are asking, if you could release him and let him go, like you did on the 4th day, why did you have to wait until the 4th day?
A right perspective. It's important, especially as you have put it, a certain narrative as though the state represented by the AG is on a certain mission. So let's put the matter to the right perspective. Look, as my senior Japa said, the gentleman filed an application for leave to travel out on medical grounds. The reason you see the affidavit deposed to by the office of the AG to be affidavit in response was that the first day when the case was called, the AG had not even filed an affidavit in opposition. In fact, but the was in court, and the deputy AG raised issues that they are not in principle against his travel, but they want to see certain document. And the document, of course, to prove that indeed he needed that services outside.
Oh, okay, now that clarifies it for me.
Yes.
That's why they intentionally didn't call it
opposition.
Okay.
And it is even here, when you read paragraph 5, you would see that they said that they are in principle not opposed. You read it to the
paragraph 5. The Attorney General is in principle not opposed to Hanan being granted leave to travel out of the jurisdiction for medical care.
Absolutely.
However, Hanan ought to provide the following particulars to enable the court to properly and effectively consider and determine the application. And then he brought those things.
And those are the things
the court granted him.
And on the day when the application was moved, the AG was opposed to those documents. I mean, the document, they thought that it wasn't really documents that of course they did. And then the court still ruled that he be granted. And that's where I feel the AG should have, because after I've also seen something, you've also seen the documents that Hanan presented to the court as basis for that application. I have issues with them. A lot of people are
questioning the judge's judgment.
No. I disagree with him, and I have that right. I disagree with the judge, respectfully. And I thought that the AG should have appealed. The AG should have appealed immediately.
So this is how to backdoor appeal?
How a backdoor appeal? No, I'm coming to the issue. Not at all. Okay. I'll deal with the issue. But I'm saying that, for starters, the AG should have appealed. Because these documents are not enough. Something with you've done this for a long time. Look at the documents you have. In fact, and it's good, I have to deal with it. It's important. One of the documents is a document from Makafo Eye Services Limited, to whom it may concern. Look at read the first paragraph. Mr. Abdul Wahab consulted me at this Legon clinic with the view of getting a referral letter. Is that how these things are procured? Is that how they are procured? This is the document he presented with the view to support his appointment with an ophthalmologist in the UK. Is that how it's procured? Look, these are the documents he intended using to procure the order.
He has an appointment with an ophthalmologist, but there must be a referral.
A referral.
Then he sees a doctor to say, I have an appointment, but I need a referral.
No, you see, he is saying that he look, because if you read what the AG said, they required a document, an acceptable official medical certificate of diagnosis. It's never here. He never got that. This is not a diagnostic document. Do you understand? Something, because anybody can get this.
No.
Anybody, please allow me. No, anybody can procure this. Anybody can procure this because it is not business as usual. He needed to convince the court that he needed those services outside the country. And this, for me, is not enough.
Sophie Bentil said it's enough if you read the letter in full. Is that not what you're saying?
Where does it say?
The last paragraph says, my impression is that Mr. Wahab has allergic conjunctivitis. I have explained to him that he is a qualified doctor. I have explained to him that this is not curable but controlled with anti-allergic eye drops.
Where is the diagnostic report?
Did you hear what I just read?
No, but this is not a diagnostic report.
I beg you, a doctor says...
So allow me. No.
Okay, so it's okay.
So
let's agree.
What's the form of a diagnosis?
He's challenging both the doctor and the judge. So let's go.
But I'm saying that I have a right to disagree.
What is the form? Continue.
Let me continue. Now, so that is what happened. The court ruled, the AG didn't oppose. So of course, the man was at liberty to travel within the terms of the order. Now, this man from there goes to his bank. From the court, goes to his bank and presents a document to the bank.
A court order.
Relax, please. He presents a document to the bank. And the document for him...
We don't know how the document was presented, whether he went there or he sent it by email.
No,
so you said he goes to the bank.
The information I have is that he was there. Okay. That's the information at least.
I've heard conversations that suggest that he just sent it. He didn't have to go there.
Well, I know. I've also...
Okay, go ahead.
And then, you see, when he presented the document to the bank, The bank looked at it, of course, because the bank has received an order from the court freezing the account. And so if you go, and the bank...
Long ago.
And you see, the bank is not a party to the suit, the matter in court. They would not know whatever happens. So this argument that it automatically discharges and all that, no dispute. But how would the bank be in the know of what has happened? You
to be brought to the bank's attention.
Yes. And so you, please allow, please. So you certainly have to bring a document to the bank to prove that there is a defreezing order. So the bank looks at it, first and foremost, the order that was served on the bank had a suit number different. You may say, do all the argument that they are in respect of the same case. The bank is not a party in the matter in court. So first, the suit numbers are different. Secondly, there is nowhere in the ruling of the court. This is not an order anyways. Let me put it this way. It is a ruling of a court. And Sam, you agree with me.
What is the effect?
Oh, the effect, yes, but we've been using this. We are doing.
Go ahead and make a point.
So I'm saying that when the order, this document was brought to the attention of the bank, and I state here that there is nowhere the court refers to any account number. In fact, when you read the first paragraph, the court deals with the 4 items that were in the order for the freezing, as in the Identity High Court that he went. The court never mentioned any bank account. But you see, I haven't read this ruling. The judge is a very smart judge. Why didn't he grant the order but had this struck out?
Grant the order?
No, but the
because
order...
he was telling them that
yes,
you have come to court for something.
Yes.
But the thing you are coming for, you don't have to come for it because the charges have been withdrawn.
So relax.
And since the charges were withdrawn, everything that was done on the back of those charges have gone with the wind.
Hold on, let me deal with certain things he said.
All right.
The judge, yes, as has been read, the judge said this. He said it is common knowledge that the applicant has since been rearrested. Don't forget the Yoko law 8, the Yoko law, that is it? Yes, section 33, which gives the Yoko some orders without even going to court and freezing. They have that right, but after they are done, they have to within 14 days.
So finish reading it and make
so
the
I'm
point.
reading it. Yes.
It is common knowledge.
So it is common knowledge that the applicant has since been rearrested. The development has a direct effect on the present application because the withdrawal of the charges against the freezing order has automatically discharged. It was automatically discharged. The rearrest begins another process as the applicant ought to be cautioned and charged with an offense. The first thing we should ask is that, was he, after the discharge of the of those charges, after it was withdrawn, was he rearrested or not?
Yes, he was. Mm-hmm.
Do we know what he was taken through? I am aware that he was placed on investigation and he knows it. So,
go on.
So the judge is saying that the rearrest begins another process as the applicant ought to be cautioned and charged with an offense, which was done. The caution statement taken from him on the 26th of June 2026 is no longer in force. And which is true.
It's no longer enforced
to trigger investigation and possible charges because it's been withdrawn. So the judge, yes, it's true. There cannot be a freezing order in respect of a property where no investigation or prosecution is ongoing. So the judge is a smart judge. But you should ask yourself whether there was an investigation ongoing. Yes, there was. When he was rearrested, he was taken to Yoko. So the judge is saying that on what you brought, there is no issue. Because if there is no investigation ongoing, it is automatic. But if there is, then this doesn't apply.
If you were in private practice, still, I don't know if you still go to court.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
And Abdul Hanan was your client.
Yes.
Would you have interpreted this decision the way you are doing?
I agree with you, but if you were also the Attorney General,
would you not have told your client that you need to bring this decision to the attention of the bank, that the freezing orders have been discharged?
Samson, if that is even where I, with the greatest respect, fault his lawyers. Look, what he should have rather sent to the bank were probably court notes in respect of the charges on that particular the account thing, or that day when the charges were withdrawn. The court note would have served him better. Because this one is in particular in respect of 4 properties which does not include an account.
The value of
there is.
When you have a court order.
No, which court order?
You have a ruling.
Which court order?
You have a ruling.
He hasn't read all the necessary parts.
Where?
Okay.
Where? Tell me.
He says that there cannot be a freezing order in respect of property.
Is that what I read?
No, you didn't go there. Oh wait, where no investigation or prosecution is ongoing now. An investigation or prosecution is not equal to
read.
He disagrees.
He disagrees.
No, I disagree. Go and read the Yoko. He disagrees that there cannot be a freezing order when investigation is.
Here's the point. Please, then let me make a small point.
Bernard,
you have a bank
you're not listening to me. I'm saying that you are making the contrary point against what the judge said.
Yes.
From where you said the judge is wrong on that point.
No, the judge is not wrong.
My point is
no, the judge is not wrong.
I think it's an important point. You can be investigated for so many things. Doesn't mean your account is frozen. To freeze your account, there must be a specific motion for that. Not be granted.
No.
There's normally.
If you are being investigated, your account is not automatically
the first one. This
is specific. And the judge says that the recent development means the present application is moot. There is no valid freezing order. There must be a freezing order. You think everybody being investigated?
Please, what you are saying is not the case.
This is a ruling of the court. He says there's no valid freezing order. The judge says so.
Bernard,
there is no valid freezing order.
He's reading the very last paragraph.
Look at that. It's there. The judge says so.
This recent development renders the present application moot. For there is no valid freezing order in the first place. Following the withdrawal of the charges against
Samson.
The application is therefore
so why can't he take
the judge is saying
no. Please allow me to develop my point. No. Please allow me. I am saying that there is the administrative power. Freezing. So it is not the case. Senior Bentel is not correct here. It's not the case that at every point in time you need to go to the court to procure an order. It's not true. You can do that. The Yoko under 33(1), they can do it, but within 14 days they have to. And I'm saying that there is no dispute as to whether the charges were withdrawn. And the judge is operating on the basis that those charges under which you are before me have been withdrawn, so you don't even need to come. But the judge said if there is no pending investigation, I am aware that after the charges were withdrawn, he was rearrested, put on another investigation, and he was informed on what is available and what is not available. And so for me, if that was that charge was on him and he was being investigated, and the Yoko officer, as I'm hearing, freezed the assets from there, then the Yoko under the law of the Yoko, the 804, it kicked in. What they should have probably done, beyond the freezing, maybe within 14 days, they ought to go to. So if they are saying that there was no freezing on the order because the charges were withdrawn, that is a fact. And the judge smartly said that if that is not there, then the reason you are before me.
Guys, I think you should listen to Bernard a bit here. He says that when the judge says, wait, hold on. When the judge says there cannot be a freezing order in respect of a property where no investigation or prosecution is ongoing, what the judge was suggesting here, according to Bernard, is that for as long as there is ongoing investigation, there can be a freezing order. But again, how do you marry that with the final statement in the ruling, where the judge says these developments render the present application moot because there is no valid freezing order in the first place.
So something simple. The answer is simple. It's expressio unis. Kofi. It's expressio unis.
Yes.
This application was not ex parte.
Which one?
Yoko was there. The respondent is represented by Rabiatu Abdullahi with Ebenezer Jiman. So Yoko was there.
Samson.
So it is not a matter that you can say that the judge was making statements out of 10 in the absence of the relevant parties. Both the applicant and the respondent were in court, represented by counsel. What are you talking about?
Samson, I am saying that there is nothing.
But you said it. Samson said it for you.
Please.
We were responding to Samson. He was speaking for you.
I listened to you. I have a few other things to say. Please, allow me.
You let him finish.
Let me do. There is nothing wrong with what the judge said.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it because the judge premised it that if there is no ongoing investigations, then you are before me for nothing.
How do you reconcile that with the final?
No, but the final is always based on, we all read judgment. It's on, because the judge is saying that you are before me and you've exhibited a discharge, whatever, that the charges have been discharged. If it's been discharged, then it's moot. But if there is an ongoing investigation, of course, the judge will not continue on that tangent because he's not.
So why strike out the application?
The judge said, the reason the judge said the application is moot is that for there is no valid freezing order in the first place following the withdrawal of the charges against Abdul Hanan.
So if he is rearrested, it's on a different distance. If he is, please.
At the time that this ruling was delivered, he had been rearrested.
Yes.
But you hadn't gone for any freezing order.
No, you don't need to because you don't necessarily have to.
I'm saying that Yoko has step has not been taken.
And that would not be before the judge because they may not have come to the judge.
But Yoko was there.
What you are saying is that as a matter of fact, since the withdrawal, there has been a new.
That is what they don't want to hear.
No, I'm asking you. Are you confirming?
Yes.
That since the withdrawal of those charges, there have been a new.
Yes. I am telling you, by Yoko, by that,
the lawyers
from the judge.
Yes.
The withdrawal was done when, and if we know the date of the withdrawal, we will know whether it has been time for them to go for a confirmation.
That's a different matter. If they don't, if they haven't, you won't say there's not been a freezing order. You will go to court.
But if you don't go for a confirmation,
what you did also will have to go to court and then seek to set aside that order because for lack of maybe refusing.
Can I also say my one small thing?
But you cannot say there's not been a freezing order.
Can I say my one small thing?
Please allow. You've said your own.
The withdrawal was made on the 5th of May 2026.
Okay.
So if there is a new freezing order from the 5th of May 2026, there would have been a confirmation.
Thank you.
And I'm saying that if they haven't
which will not be known only to Yoko privately.
Thank you.
I'm saying that if they haven't done it, the solution would not be to say that there isn't a freezing order at all.
Finish your point.
I beg, people must know something.
We need to
There's something called expressio unius.
Allow me flow.
The expression of
you talk a lot and then you forget yourself that you have been talking.
Because they are all over me.
Kofi, go on.
When I heard you say all the things you said that you didn't allow.
The expression of one thing implies the exclusion of other. It is said here, it is moot, there is no valid freezing order. It cannot be that there is. 1. 2, if you are being investigated, it does not mean automatically your account have been closed. 2, if your accounts are going to be closed, that thing must go before the judge must agree, and then it is closed, and you must know. It is not ex parte, it is not a secret. Okay, so, and the last point, what is implied can never overrule what is expressly stated. Okay? We have what is expressly written here. Stated. No. There is no evidence that there has been a new order in freezing the account.
So Kofi, you see what he's asking, what he's saying is that administratively they would have done some, but it is not known. But the point that raises is that Yoko was also in court over this matter.
That's the point. That's why.
So did they tell the court that there was a freezing order? If they had told the court that there was another freezing order administratively, can the court make a pronouncement and say there is no one?
Yoko told the court that.
So can I also make my point and finish? Because you are trying to help me now. So he is implying.
No.
I beg.
I'm not implying.
Show me the order that says there has been a new freezing of the account.
He's implying and assuming.
And I'm saying when we have a court order in front of us,
even
that says that the old is dead.
If that order in writing,
you are telling me that implying?
Why did the Attorney General exhibit it to his new application?
And my last point.
No.
Yes, the Attorney General did not exhibit it.
In what?
Yes, the new application against for revoking the leave.
The leave, yes.
He would have added that since the withdrawal of the charges, there has been, as you say, a new freezing order.
No, but who is disputing it for the AG to file something to that effect? Who is disputing?
Because the judge has said in the ruling that there is none.
No, but the judge operated on the basis of these 4 properties, which has nothing to do with whatever may have been said. It's in respect of the 4 properties. No, implying. Read this. So I
didn't finish what I had saying that if you were the Attorney General,
yes,
and this matter came up and you were going to court for a revocation, and you know that there will be, it will turn on this interpretation. How you will still not exhibit? Wait, you will not exhibit that. Where is the order?
Yes, there may be. If they
later. So say that when you say a supplement, that's different. That's you file later.
But at the moment, there's no dispute.
Okay, if they file the liberties of Ghanaian citizens,
they filed this only 2 days ago.
You said what? So they should respond and say there is no freezing order. Then the AG, if there is, would file a supplement.
Okay.
But at the moment, there is no dispute. Where is the dispute that there is no freezing?
He's landed. I'm being asked to take a break.
That was the evidence before that.
No, it is in respect of these 4. And I still submit.
Even if I have said that the implied cannot overrule the express, we have the express. He hasn't shown us every evidence.
I said,
even if the evidence, please, even if the evidence existed, okay, Hanan is fully within his power as a bona fide person without notice to go to the bank and say, I want my money.
Oh, I get that point.
And let the bank produce that other one. So how do you arrest a man, okay, who has no information, even if what you are implying is true?
Get that one.
Yeah, I get that one because in the bank refusing him, that we are said, the bank would have informed you that there is actually a new freezing order. If you are saying that there is a requirement of a new freezing order and same has been issued, the bank would have said so.
I'm missing the point. The bank is not party to what happens in court.
Yes, but when a party comes to tell you and say that the freezing order has been discharged, you will tell the party that there is a new one.
No, Samson, what the bank holds or held all this while, assuming there is even no new freezing order, will be the old one. You are in court doing your thing. If you come to the bank and you seek to vacate the old, even the older, you should show the court, the bank, what you have to vacate what they have already.
Which is the court order?
No, the court order, they saw a lot of things because it has nobody.
The court order is
thank you. You were raising an angle around the Abutrika. What can you say briefly about that? Who was raising an angle?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, okay. What did you mean?
That if what we're hearing, because I'm not particularly seized with the entire facts
that he has been extradited.
Yes, that is a notorious fact. I mean, we've seen the videos, we've seen the tapes and all that. But what his lawyer is purporting to have transpired prior to his extradition, if indeed those statements are true, then really, Dominic and Srem, please, it does not.
What would they have done wrong? Please help us.
Of course, I mean, the guy is alleging that all attempts to serve the processes for habeas corpus on the Attorney General, going to court ex parte, the court saying go on notice and all that.
And there's supposed to be some stay of sorts.
And all was calculated to, deprive the gentleman his day in court, and he was bundled and sent away. I don't think it's proper, and so the Attorney General and his deputy.
So even if there would have been extradition, it should have abided the court hearing the matter.
Absolutely. Without
Bekofi, why are we acting surprised? By my checks, this is the first time that the extradition of a Ghanaian to the US has suffered this kind of delay, where a lawyer goes to court and successfully gets a situation where the guy is not extradited, and it's been how many months since he should have been extradited?
The Susudis case, some of us are old enough to remember the Susudis case. It didn't go this way. They exchanged him for many more Ghanaians. All right? So please, this is not. If what we are hearing from Oliver is true, then the Attorney General surrendered our sovereignty as a country. Because effectively what it means that they overrode our court, they walked roughshod over our courts, who were seized with a matter and took orders from another country and sent a Ghanaian citizen out to some other person. It is a surrender of our sovereignty, no matter what that guy did. You should never do that. Look, me, I'm a proud Ghanaian, all right? And for whatever it is worth, if you don't have anything at all, you should have your country behind you.
Please, we are dealing with the USO.
So,
You're talking Garrett and whatever. They are the ones giving you money for a lot of things.
Then we don't have any
You are poor.
Garrett is a World Bank loan.
We don't have anything. On a lighter note, somebody sent me a joke and said, if Oliver knew they were going to extradite him, he would have gone to take the key of the plane.
All right, that's interesting. Thank you very much. The show, once again, is brought to you by Melcom, your #1 shopping destination. Waylead, your trusted home builder. Bethel Dental, the smile starts here. St. Thomas Eye Hospital, providing excellence in healthcare. And Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, happy smile. We take a quick break. We return to ask if the Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti project is a scandal in waiting.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant #1, let's bring Baby Car. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Day by Day existing lotion, cream, soap, and more. Day by Day has 4 fragrance range.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 58 Ghana cedis only on DSTV.
Na se afi 1924 enye afi bia keke na mumu abrabo ahyase. Na se abrabo enye bibi kesi bia na mumu niema nketewa a efete se edwuma edikan akukuduro a yedisi ginaye na woni obi etu anamon abomu na se bombo emma wo ahoto te se chinia ekura yen wa abra nsu kesi bi ato empofui mu na se bibie mu no wedwuma sam ekoswe na se apomuden edi enidaso ba na akomabubu nso ewo hye fofore na se ahomgie eye emre abasobode afa hodie ene enigye ewo mue na se wabrabo mu nsem egina wo fie ene wedwuma sem ho nso na se ye di odo ebata nia ya hwere ho a yenkredie ebeye fe.
Enterprise, your advantage.
To complement brushing, use a mouthwash daily to reduce harmful bacteria that cause bad breath, tooth decay, and plaque, which can lead to bleeding gums.
Rinse Fresh Go. For the maintenance of oral hygiene and healthy gums, you need Nesta Antiseptic Mouthwash with chlorhexidine digluconate, effective for the treatment and prevention of bleeding or irritated gums, mouth ulcers, plaque, and bad breath. Rinse Fresh Go. Get the confidence and protection of long-lasting fresh breath with Nesta Antiseptic Mouthwash. Rinse Fresh Go. Available in original and fresh mint flavors. Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to a place where everyday living is reimagined, where space, movement, and community come together effortlessly. With thoughtfully designed spaces, modern facilities, and everything you need within reach, you don't just live here, you feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Step inside Eden Heights and discover spaces crafted for comfort, style, and everyday living. And just when it feels right, you will know. Because this isn't just about finding a house, it's about stepping into a better way of living. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. Book a private viewing today.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally?
Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery.
Laparoscopic
colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oleuma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex Kakalika Plaza. Also find our various locations as displayed on screen, or call us on the following number: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we lay aside, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m., Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m., Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m., and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m. Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
You're welcome back. This is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform. And as I always say, mark that when we say most authoritative, we mean it. And my outfit, as always, is by Habil's Couture. You can call them 0200 84 1988. 0200 84 1988. That's the home of the best of kaftans. So call them or go onto any of their socials, Habil's, and you find them. They will make you look good. Just a couple of your messages before I bring in the poultry farmers and my guest on these matters. Musa Abattoir says that I don't think Kofi Bentel and Ejapa Mensah were fair to Bernard, who raised legitimate legal issues about the rearrest of Mr. Hanan. If the Attorney General's allegations are true, then the court must take a second look at granting him leave to travel out of the country. The rearrest reinforces the principle of accountability. The Kenoforiata case should serve as a lesson to the Attorney General and the court that all public officials must be held accountable for their stewardship. Well, there's even a suggestion that for the first 1 year or so, if you have left government or public office, we should hold you to be in the country. Don't go anywhere. This one says that Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti, how different is that from the Akonfem that flew to Burkina Faso? Chris sent in that one. Ernest Osei says that it's amazing how we have shifted from solving real problems to hiding behind optics and worthy statements that offer no real solutions. Flooding should not be treated as just another natural disaster for us to comment on, placate victims, and then wait for the next edition. What we need, and none of this is new, are real action, systemic planning, and committed development backed by consensus enforcement and building regulations and effective management and maintenance of cities, safeguard buffer zones against the unbridled construction on watercourses, parks, forest reserves, creeks, marshy areas, roads, and other protected lands, among others. He says our leaders should spend their time finding real solutions, not playing to the gallery. Otherwise, the next flood will not just expose us, it will wipe all of us out. God save us. From Ernest. Well, me, I've been asking myself, after June 3, 2015, when over 154 died and over 154 were injured, some of them are looking, you see them, their faces, everything bent, cooked, and they are around. And if we didn't take any lessons from that, what else? After hearing my senior Bernard and the answer to your question put to him, it is worrying. We, the junior lawyers, are listening and learning, but such gross misinterpretation of the ruling, which ruling we junior lawyers can appreciate, politics has done much harm to this country than what is wrong. Please tell my seniors on the platform that we are also watching and listening to them for education. That is from who? I can't immediately identify you, but thanks for your message nonetheless. This one from, too many of your messages. Which one should I read for you? This one from Gamel from Ewutu Obrachere. He says, what I have learned from you is that when it comes to the law, it is not about emotion. Senior, ask Honorable Bernard if administration order supersedes a court ruling. Then my question to him is that it is not the same administrative authority. Is it not the same administrative authority that her ladyship took on based on and traveled with her family, and it was used to remove her? Okay, not exactly the same situation. This one from Mark in the US of A, that Boots in London provides optical services. Boots Opticians is a major chain with multiple locations across London. Services they offer include eye tests, essential eye tests, covers the fundamentals, advanced eye tests, and OCT scanning for detailed eye health, ultimate eye tests with optoma technology. How to book. Then he shows how to make the booking. All right, but you are concerned that in Germany, they import waste to process. And that includes facilities in Eastern Germany. Germany as a whole is a major importer of waste for recovery, energy, and several of the big waste processing sites in the former East. Okay, stressing the point about how we can leverage on making money from waste. Thank you. But let's begin this discussion, and we don't have too much time for it. So, Kofi, I'm going to the Poultry Farmers Association online, but let me begin with you. Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti, are you surprised about what you are hearing, that people got the checks, they read them, and they are looking for sort of off-takers, is it, people to take them, and they didn't get a market, and then they began to, consume them. And the minister said he immediately mobilized those who could. They went, they got some of it, and some are sending him pictures or videos. They are laughing at him that we are eating them up.
I am not surprised, because after 30 years of public sector advocacy, 20 years of Imani, this is what happens when you don't have a plan. And consistently we see this happening. And when these things happen, we do the analysis, we come up and we are able to say that this thing is not going to succeed. And people say, oh, we are hating. Yesterday, somebody sent me a message and said I'd become a prophet, and started tracing from STX, when we said, no, this is not going to work, to Commander Sugar Factory, when I said that, look, it's going to produce propaganda, not sugar, all the way, to a number of things that we've said. But we don't say these things because we are not happy that somebody's trying something. It is not everything that should be tried. Sometimes sit down, do the planning. You are going to invest 245 million Ghana cedis. And you go and give somebody 2 chickens here, 3 chickens here, 4 chickens here. And what do you expect? So the failure was to be expected. And the problem is that when it is obvious to an average person like me that the failure was imminent, how is it not obvious to the minister with a ministry, with a chief director, with technical people, and all of those people? And then we sit here and we come to this position which was entirely foreseeable. All right? Now, I still don't have a plan in terms of how they are going to fix this. The last time I heard anything, you know what they said? They said they were going to give Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti to parliamentarians.
Yeah, he was saying it in the House.
That's dastardly. Because you see,
he said the parliamentarians, most of them are farmers.
But please, you see, how do you solve the poultry problem by making parliamentarians part-time poultry farmers? Do you think the parliamentarians are going to sit out there? You think poultry is a small thing? Okay.
We are importing $600 million worth of poultry every year.
I know that.
And I've had poultry farmers sit here and shock me that the poultry we consume, we don't produce 2% of it.
I know that. Let me tell you why I know that. I was invited to Israel by some people who want to come to Ghana and do a $35 million poultry farm because they've read about this thing and they think they can solve it. Agrotop, they've done it in other countries. They have come to Ghana. We've tried to set up the thing, trying to get it off the ground. If that were to succeed, and by the way, they are looking for land 1 hour from the airport, and all those things are going on, that is the kind of effort you get behind. We've been working on it for 2 years. We have not made that much progress. If you have money, you look for these ones and you solve them. If you want to solve the 600 million poultry, whatever, and by the way, we've spoken to some of the biggest poultry consumers in the country, and they tell us about their own efforts. Okay? And one of them says that they are happy to support us if we can take it off the ground. My point is, like I said, you have a ministry, you have directors, you have experts, you have all these things. It should be possible for them to tell you that Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti has 0 chance of solving the poultry deficit in Ghana. Because I can say that here. The way I said Commander Sugar Factory, the way I said all the things, I'm saying this. Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti will fail. It will not solve the poultry problem in Ghana. The money will be spent, wasted, and stolen.
Is it not too early? Is it not too early? It has been 241 days since the launch. We have spent 245 million. Don't you think we should wait a bit so that we would know how much it is reducing the importation problem we have and boosting local production?
I can tell you as an analyst, even from day one when we complain about it, that if you look at the plan, what they are executing, it has zero chance of success. You can't sprinkle day-old checks around
zero.
Mark today, and I'll tell you exactly what will happen. They will come back and the money will be spent, wasted, and stolen. We will not have the poultry problem solved. They will tell us long stories about why it failed, and then we'll have investigations about who stole the money. We've seen it with SADA, we've seen it with everything else. What they should do is get serious people to go in, produce poultry on an industrial scale, and sell.
Let me talk to the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Ali Mohammed. Ali, thanks very much for joining us. Hello, Ali.
Yeah, thank you, Samson.
Great. We thought that this was such a bold, good initiative, very easy to think about to begin to resolve our poultry problems.
Yes, it's a very good initiative, but with wrong assumption about the poultry industry. I think Mr. Bento said something. People think the poultry business is just a joke. Look, it takes a trained mind, just like any other discipline, to be a poultry farmer. Samson, at the inception of this project that we call Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti, there are two things that we were told that we want to achieve. One is the program objective, which is to reduce the poultry bill from the 600 million. And the second is to boost local production and to create interest in poultry farming. But look, it's an association with over 1,000+ members across the country. We made an attempt to meet the minister, give our side of the story, how to roll out the project. But hey, we were pushed back. Nobody gave us the hearing. And so we stand now, Samson, the first phase, actually, no planning, no coordination, it's an abyss.
This is coming from you, the Poultry Farmers Association.
We are the biggest poultry farmers association. We are in this country for the past 48 years. Look, Samson, if you want to raise adequate beds to reduce the bill of 600 million, the initial stage that we started, actually, is just a waste. Look, Samson, the startup was not with a business mind. Mm-hmm. The planning was actually not in existence. How do you give somebody beds who has not been prepared, who has not been trained? The beds come, even the feed for some days are not there. Something, you see, those who are making the mockery of consuming the best, they are those who were not given that much, 10, 15. What is it going to do with it? You started this number of beds. Even the mortality rate. To talk about the mortality rate, very, very, very high. So I heard the minister some few days ago on your show being interviewed by Kojo Bruce. I think the minister at a point should take his time, hear from those on grounds, people like our good selves who are in the business for over 48 years. We have members who have the capacity to raise adequate number of beds. You heard Kofi saying that there are some Israelis who want to come and establish some. Yes, which is good. But the local farmers, look, the capacity is there. You don't need any external distance to raise this number of beds that you want to. With the right support, the right planning. Look, something, sometimes it hurts. Look, we were told 50,000 beds are going to be shared. We want to inquire who are going to be the recipients. As an association with the large numbers, we want to give free education, the technical support, how the people to prepare and receive those beds, to raise them. Nobody will give that chance to do that. But you see, the initiative is a very good one. Mr. Bento should not discard everything like it's not. Yes. The first phase was actually bad, but going forward, I think we can make corrections and make amends, and we'll bring the project back on track.
Okay.
That's my preliminary comment, yes.
All right, thank you very much. Bernard.
I take off from where
Ali Mohammed,
yes, it is not a bad project at all. And we must also appreciate the policy as has been communicated by the minister and the government, that this household poultry distribution is just a phase one of the project itself, and that their group surely has a stake in it, and I'm aware that it is one of the things the minister is working on. But the phase one is not even done yet. They've done 11 regions, so 5 more to go, which is being done. And what is the phase one? Look, it is true that it wasn't really the project, the phase one, was not really about government putting in money and expecting same to be brought to government. No. The challenge we have as a people is the burdened, what do you call it, import of poultry products. And of course, it has some effects on our economy and all that. So first and foremost, we need to also deal with the taste or the consumption aspect of our own people, to develop the taste of the local. And so and then also the other thing was to also give the households the opportunity to do something, at least those of them who do not actually have. Hold
on, listen to the minister. Let's hear the minister again. I want you to hear him and put things in perspective. So this, he said, was is it Eastern region or somewhere or is it Western region that this problem came up? But is it not the case that this is going to be the situation elsewhere and will lead this program to a failure?
Now the difficulty we had with some of the regions, especially in the Eastern region, some of the farmers who benefited called me and said, "Honorable, our beds are ready. We are not getting the market." And I said, "Oh, look, we can find some market for you." So we spoke to some of the processors. Some of them had to move cars from Accra to some of the regions to go and buy the best. But there are also stories that we can also share. Some also decided to kill and eat all. In fact, they were even sending me videos that, "Honorable, we are eating everything." But this is not meant for that immediate consumption. We just wanted people to rear them, sell, and reinvest. I will soon table a proposal before Parliament for consideration. If Parliament agrees, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture will support all parliamentarians to go into poultry production. Even though I'm calling it a proposal, plans are far advanced. The ministry is procuring some quantity of bears, mainly for members of parliament.
The minister also revealed that most vehicles procured under the Ghana-Canada Farming Support Arrangement have been auctioned, leaving several district agricultural offices without operational vehicles.
Yes, Bernard.
Yes. Surely the minister, I think it was a committee of parliament he spoke to. I mean, let out the pros and cons, what has happened to it. And he said that he's heard stories of some people eating it. But he said that shouldn't be, because the intention of the government in rolling out this policy is for them, those of them. Don't forget that nobody forced anything on anybody. The people went to the various assemblies and wrote their names that they were actually interested in taking up that. And then again, it must also be said that the group, the poultry farmers, were used. They weren't abandoned entirely. They helped raise the day-old chicks to up to 1 month before it was distributed. So, what's his name? Ali should find out from his people. And of course, it was the poultry farms that were used in my district. We got about 4 of them who actually took care of the day-old, as was brought from Accra, and they took care of them up to a month, at least to reduce the mortality rate, so that when it gets to the households, they would. So I'm not too sure about the mortality, as I'm hearing that, because at my end, I have videos, several of them. And trust me, Samson, let me say, look, during the Salah, I even bought so many from people and gave to, Muslims, brothers and sisters who could not afford cows and all that. And at a relatively, a reduced price. And so it is not entirely true. We may hear stories, we may hear all kinds of things. And again, look, Samson, if there's 2 or 3, 5 that we are saying that, some are saying that was distributed, it is not entirely true. It was 50 per household. And household is communal living we do. Sometimes they may take the 50 as a community and raise them. Of course, when it gets to a point, they would have to share because we are in fee. You understand? So, no, but the plan is to, as the minister said, raise, sell, and reinvest.
But then that's not what you're executing.
What are they doing? I bought some from them.
50 in a household to be shared, raise, sell, and reinvest.
But certainly, you see, the point is that if they raise and share, they will sell.
Really?
Yeah.
They are saying by evidence, by that they are eating the thing.
No, he said he has stories. He is saying that he has so much to share with you.
Is it not
the
true?
Success story? But he's also telling you, but you are an academic. Can you have a perfect program anywhere? But I'm saying that.
Let me answer you.
Yes, you cannot have a perfect.
You
it's
can
the
have
start
a largely
of it.
successful program if you plan.
No, but at the moment you don't have statistics to show that it has failed. You don't.
I am telling you.
This is a monumental failure.
How is there? You can dramatize.
How is there? Samson, these are broilers.
And you've not been brought here.
The minister is telling you about the problems, but you don't think the problems.
Also shared the success story. Something we shouldn't discard that one. The minister said it.
Causing financial loss to the
state.
Yeah,
see, how is it? How?
You could have waste 245 million.
You said it's waste, but the minister no. Then please, with the greatest respect, then you understand of course because the minister never said that was
Samson. Do you know this?
How is it causing financial loss?
It takes for broilers to mature from day old to table 6 to 9 weeks. So the Nkokɔ Nkitinkiti that were distributed 3, 4, 5 months ago, they've chopped all long time ago.
Please. It was actually meant to be chopped.
Let me finish.
No, you haven't been brought in.
If the expectation was that these guys were going to rear them and sell them and reinvest, where were they going to buy the new day-old chicks to go and?
No, but that's a legitimate question you can ask. I don't have a problem. But you say they've chopped all of them.
But they finished chopping it.
No, it's not true. I can show you videos.
2 months is what you need for chicken. So they are not there anymore.
They sold it. I bought some.
The Poultry Farmers Association is saying that a lot has gone wrong.
They've chopped the money.
You need to recalibrate. You need to review.
And I'm saying that.
And focus on the major players. He even says he wants to give free education. He wants to say something. Yes, Ali.
Phase 2. Yeah, Samson.
What discuss?
Honorable Bernard. Please. Honorable Bernard.
Go ahead.
Look, we shouldn't try to be overly defensive. Actually, a lot has gone wrong. We can make amends and make corrections going forward. In the argument that you just put across, how 50 beds per household to sell and reinvest. How practical is this?
How is it not?
2 months is past. 2 months is what you need to finish.
You see?
No, I don't.
But Bernard, people are getting 10, 15.
That's what I'm telling you. No, but
yes.
That one, you see, if it's a house.
Look, Honorable Bernard, we want to make an impact.
But a household, how are they going to do this business?
They do it, but they
poultry rearing is.
Nobody forced anybody.
Did you see them giving them the handcuffs? Did you see the handcuffs?
They have given some.
That's what the president said during the campaign. That we have Nkokɔ Nkokɔ. That's what they said.
I have videos here in my community.
240 million.
Look, do you know what Sam also did? Let me also tell you. You see, you may not. Sam also did it this way. His own people who took care of the day old for a month before it was distributed. Those who got it also contracted the same people.
2 months has passed. So has he succeeded?
Yes, largely. Of course, there are issues. Some have chopped and they are saying, but
the minister did not highlight the success
we
stories.
eat poultry anyways. So if the person rests and decides,
the minister did not highlight the success.
Something.
He only highlighted the failures.
No. In fact, that one he said we are also hearing. Even before.
It's the failures that the media is highlighting.
Absolutely, but he said a lot.
Because of course,
so
we need to pay attention to
that's the one that I heard.
Yes. But he said a lot.
Samson, a success means that we will recover the 245 million with profit.
That wasn't the intention. That's why you are talking about cost finance. That wasn't the intention.
The importation of poultry in Ghana.
Reduce, yes, but we never said we were going to recover.
It's for the public.
So you gave the money out for free.
Will be that we will recover the money.
You spent money to buy the cocoa and give it to people for free.
Why? Is it the first time you use state money to?
In other words, the money is more or less lost.
Okay.
But that money is only the initial capital.
It's the initial.
I'm coming. So the 245 million, more or less, is lost. I want the minister to tell us not. And we have not done anything to the poultry dependence, the importation. And we have not helped the poultry farmers who are already on the ground. And we are likely to put more money behind the bad money.
No, I'm saying that. No, I'm saying that the group.
You've been.
Do you agree with what I said?
Overly defensive.
You agree with what I said?
I am not, but it is not entirely bad. Allow me, because you see, it is not entirely bad.
I think it's actually up. So
have we recovered the money?
But the experts are saying that
have we recovered the money?
What was the? Have you read?
The government put 245 million in it. Success means we will recover that money.
That wasn't the intention. Nobody.
The intention was to do what?
That.
So what's the intention?
So why did the minister say that we haven't given money?
So where's the money?
Yeah, but we've given people to we've given the chicken to people to sell and reinvest.
So the money will come back.
Come back to you.
You gave somebody 245 million.
We haven't given money.
They shared it to their family.
We haven't. Is it the first time?
And the chicken didn't do that.
No. The
information
we have so they will have income
for themselves. What's wrong with that?
So the money is for them. They should keep it.
What money?
The government has spent 245 million
in procuring the chicken for them.
So you gifted out, right?
I mean,
is that what you did? You gifted it?
No, not gifted it.
So
we are empowering the people. And
empowering means they will bring back the money, or you gifted them the money.
It's gifted.
So the money is gone. The 245 is it gone?
Gone to where? I don't get
what is the plan? Is it the
We've
plan?
told you the plan.
What's the plan?
The plan is that we are empowering the people down there. Take the chicken, raise them, sell, and then reinvest. So you are.
So right now they have sold and they have reinvested.
Yes. Yes. So they are
2 months has passed. Which is what you need to raise the chicken and sell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have the money or
which money? But who told you were going to take?
You are pretending you don't understand, but you're a very smart guy.
What smart?
He's admitting without saying so that the monies were
no. You know, it worries me. No, but is it not far better? No, how much are we talking about? How much is in the cathedral? How much is in the cathedral?
Look at this man.
No, it's better I give it to the people. Give it to the people.
So you are admitting that you gave it to them free.
No, what is in the cathedral? This man sits here and defends it.
I don't.
What is in that hole? What is in that hole?
We are talking about chicken today.
Yes, we are empowering the people. What's wrong with that? They are Ghanaians. The money is for them.
So
we are empowering them. No, we're giving them chicken.
You've given them 12.5 million.
We've not given them money.
Okay.
We are empowering them. There is nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. Our time is up.
And then their group, they should be on the standby. We are coming to them. We are going to help them.
Stop this thing you are going to do with the parliamentarians. Another waste of money.
I'll do it.
Our time is up.
I'm ever ready.
My guests have been Ali Mohammed, who is Chief Executive Officer, Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Andre Japamesa, former MP Sekendi, Kofi Bento is lawyer, Senior Vice President Imani Africa, Bernard Bedia Kubeidu, Member of Parliament for Akwetia. Join me on my favorite show tomorrow on the law, and I'll be engaging their lords. His Lordship Justice Kweku Teria Akabuafu, the Lord Denning of the Supreme Court. I'll be engaging Justice Dr. Enes Osu Dapa, Court of Appeal, my former teacher. He will make you read, then you'll be criticizing, why are you making us read so much? You only need to start practice, and then you realize that he was doing you a favor. Anna Susanna Nyakote, Circuit Court Judge, and we're looking at the Supreme Court at 150 years. How easy is it for you to access the court? Let's also get to know about some of the things around the Supreme Court and the court in general in 150 years. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. on The Law. I'm Samson Ladia Yenini. Have a good afternoon.